A third successive heat wave in Greece, pushing temperatures back above 104 degrees, following more nighttime evacuations from fires that have raged out of control for days.
The engines of local rescue boats rumble as dozens of people are evacuated from the island of Corfu in the middle of the night. Meanwhile, on the Greek island of Rhodes, desperate residents used shovels to beat back flames approaching their homes, as a stubborn blaze continued to move inland, torching mountainous forest areas. Pavlos Marinakis, a government spokesman, said the fires had been relentless, with more than 20,000 evacuated on the island so far. We are facing a new reality. It's the 12th day during which there are simultaneously more than 50 new outbreaks of fires per day on average. I'm Karen Chamas.
News and analysis at townhall.com. It's looking less likely that Congress will be able to wrap up work on the National Defense Authorization Bill before the Senate breaks for its August recess.
Majority Leader Charles Schumer has said he wants to finish work on the massive defense authorization bill this week, but all indications are the goal may be too ambitious. Major divides are growing not only between Democrats and Republicans, but also between some Republicans in the Senate and conservative spending hawks in the House. Most of the 12 separate appropriations bills have passed out of committee, but some senators say they'll be pushing for higher spending levels than agreed on in committee. Some House conservatives demanding lower levels than already negotiated. Bob Agnew reporting.
General Motors posted $2.5 billion in second quarter net income, a 52% increase over a year ago. The automaker says continued strong vehicle sales and pricing, as well as cost cuts, led to better than expected results. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Right. I have it on good authority. It's the two-est of all the days.
Yeah. And it's today. Tuesday.
And also among the hottest.
Wow. At this point, every day's the hottest.
I know.
It's just like...
Just giving up.
Yeah. 107. Yeah, that's it now. That's my new home.
It's new, comfortable middle.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're 113. Sometimes we're just, a nice, cool 97. It was so funny when we were in the 90s over the weekend, hear people talk about a cold front moving through. But honest to goodness, it felt like fall time in comparison.
To the
it was
107.
Ridiculous.
We ain't gonna know what to do with ourselves when it's 80 again.
Yeah.
We just won't know.
No.
We'll be like, oh my gosh, a cold front. We need to close school.
I saw a meme yesterday. It was like, picture it now. It's late October. You're wearing a sweater, sitting next to someone you love, sipping on a hot beverage, next to a fire, watching something on TV or watching something on Netflix. Life is perfect. I'm like, yeah, it does sound kind of nice, honestly.
It does. Or even a book.
We're just dying out here. Actually, I had a full-blown conversation with a guy yesterday about how many people are dying just dropping dead in the streets.
Really?
Yeah, I was in the middle of standing at a Walgreens waiting to get some Tums, and the guy's like, "Yeah, like another one just dropped dead in Texas yesterday."
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's just
that's an odd conversation to have. Just
didn't
there
know
in
the guy.
Walgreens.
Sir, this is a Walgreens.
Corn nuts, huh?
Small talk's really taking a step up. I got to really jump my game up.
Yeah, because I'd be like, "What's them picante ones taste like?"
Chili lime, you say?
Yeah, that would be me. So, there wasn't really much on the television last night, so I kind of got caught up on something that Kim and I were. You ever watched the prank panel yet?
I've seen it, but I haven't watched it.
I've finally watched all 4, I think it's 4 or 5. However many's been out yet, I finally watched. That show's really good, actually.
Is it?
I enjoy it.
I have a hard time wrapping my head around Gabourey Sidibe being one of the panelists.
To be honest, the chemistry works.
Does it though? Really?
Yeah, the three of them have great chemistry. It's Johnny Knoxville, Gabourey Sidibe,
right,
and the comedian, I forget his name.
Yeah, I can't remember the third one.
His name just always goes right out of my head. He's in a bunch of stuff, but his name always shoots right out of my head. Like he was in, if you saw Two Broke Girls, he played Kat's boyfriend for a minute in that one. He's Eric Andre.
Eric Andre, that's
the name. I could not remember that name. But yeah, the three of them.
That's odd. It's like, imagine Johnny Knoxville, Eric Andre, and Precious.
Yeah.
And they're hosting a prank show. I mean,
so the whole concept is people come up to them and want to prank someone in their life. And so they pitch a prank idea, and then the panel, the three of them, decide whether they want to do this said prank or not.
Okay.
What's funny is Knoxville's pranking people while the pranking's going,
he's pranking like on the side.
like he'll have stuff going on like the contestants waiting to get line to go to talk to them, and then all of a sudden the producer just faints out of nowhere. It's just, and the person's like, "What am I supposed to do?" And everyone's like, "Just go on."
So
don't worry.
he pranks the pranker, or who the person wants
people
to prank?
and he does the other panelists too. Like the very first episode, and I don't know if Eric was in on it, but either way, it was pretty good. So the three of them sit down, and they got their little behind them. They got like a little me wall behind them, and so there's a young picture of Eric Andre, like him as a 5th grader or something like that. And Eric goes, "Oh man, look, where'd you get this picture?" He goes, "Yeah, look at it real close." And then he hits the thing, and the thing shoots and pops him in the face. And he looks over at Gabriel, "Look, it's your picture." He's like, "No, I'm good."
It's basically like the giant hand from the Jackass movies.
Yeah. So
that's pretty good.
And then there's the pranks that they decide to do them, and then a couple like the ideas they don't look like real bad. And he's like, "Guess what? You're prank of the day." And they just send him out to the alley, and then she's like, "Okay, what do I do next?" They literally just leave her out in the alley.
I will say this: I could never feel bad for Eric Andre being pranked, because have you ever watched any of his show?
Yeah,
on Adult Swim?
I've seen some. Yeah,
it's so funny the things that he does, but to get like some of the celebrities on his show, like to prank them, he goes to great lengths.
Yeah, he gets a little cringe.
He had Hannibal Buress shot one time.
But so it's actually pretty funny. I have enjoyed watching the episodes. And I think I can see why. Because what happened was they kind of previewed it like in June.
Yeah.
And then they didn't give it to you for like a month or whatever. And I'm guessing the writers/actor strike has something to do with that. But now they moved it. So they debuted it on Sunday nights, and then I think now they're moving it to Thursday night, which means that's their big gun right now is Prank Panel, which it's a pretty funny show.
Well, it makes sense. I dig it. You don't need writers. You don't. Now, I got to imagine though that all three of them are members in some
I imagine that show.
SAG-AFTRA.
Yeah, I'm sure they can't. That show will not get more new episodes. because they're actors and they're on strike. So
but they could they could get a couple scabs.
And technically, they're writers too. I'm sure Knoxville's got a writer's credit in SAG, and I'm sure Eric Andre does too. Maybe Sidibe. I don't know what she does besides acting.
You know what's been really fascinating during this whole strike is oh gosh darn it. What's his name? The guy Adam Conover. The guy from Adam Ruins Everything?
Yeah.
So I follow him on TikTok and on the shorts. He's participating in the strike right now as a member of SAG-AFTRA. As one of the writers, the Writers Guild. But while he's doing it, he's actually posting TikToks kind of explaining the whole process, explaining all about, what the strike's about, what their demands are, what they want, how you can help, what's the best way to support the strike? Like, are we supposed to go on a, content strike? Should we stop watching things? They said, we haven't called for that yet. What we're asking is to donate to the fund, basically to keep them supported.
Yeah.
But also he's explaining things like different neutral zones, I guess they have, and as far as the union has agreed, there's a specific area that strikers will not go, and it's to allow trucks into to production lots and things for other operations.
Okay.
So they won't hinder people, production trucks, things like that going through for other operations. The only thing the strikers are there to stop are people crossing the picket lines to work, actors and writers.
Okay.
So if you're a production truck or a craft services company that's trying to get on set, this neutral zone is a place that the strikers cannot go.
Gotcha.
They've agreed upon that.
No man's land.
And it's really weird how all this works. Is they're spewing hate and shouting at people's signs, and they're cutting down trees, but we've agreed on this area. This is our Geneva Convention right here.
Oh, never mind.
This is safe, right? If you're a kid.
That's a craft truck. Never mind. Go on through.
You're good. What is that a fancy potato in the shape of a flower you have in the back of your truck? No, you're good. Go ahead.
I've got flowers back here. Sorry.
Sorry. Didn't mean to impede your work.
All right, let me give you the rundown for today's show. Ladies and gents.
Ladies. But
gents.
Mostly ladies.
And gents. Yesterday, I interviewed Guy Penrod, who will be performing at Grace Community Church August 31st. So I'm going to play that interview for you here in just a few minutes. Then in the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, I'm going to replay our interview we had yesterday with Juanita Jennings, Public Affairs Director for the City of Roswell, and Officer Kidd with the Roswell Police Department, talked about National Night Out, which is 1 week from today, next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
And that's going to be at the convention.
Don't tell everybody, then it'll be packed.
Exactly. So that'll be at the Recreation and Aquatic Center and all that. They're going to have a big pool party and all that. So, and then in the 9 o'clock hour, Amy McVeigh-Tejas will join us from the Historical Society. We'll talk a little bit about the Guy Penrod.
A little double dose of Amy today.
Double dose of Amy, yes. And then we'll talk about other stuff going on with the Historical Society as well. So, of course, we'll have all of your features that include the news of the local, national variety, your Wall Street business update, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. Before we do any of that, though, let's take a gander at your weather. Not that you really care. It's just going to be hot and 100 and something for the rest of the week.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. No let up on the heat for the next few days. 105 to 108 for the high this afternoon. Wind will be a little bit gusty, and we get sunshine. Overnight looks clear, low 70s and breezy, and then 104 to 106 for the afternoon high on Wednesday, and sunny. We'll be staying in the low 100s through the upcoming weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 75 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 34%. Winds currently out of the southeast at 8 miles per hour. Do have a heat advisory that will kick in at noon today and remaining in effect through 8 p.m. this evening. Mostly sunny. 107 our expected high with south winds 5 to 10 this morning, 15 to 20 for this afternoon. Clear tonight with an overnight low of 73 degrees. South winds 15 to 20, dropping down 10 to 15 after midnight tonight. Wednesday, sunny. Once again, highs right around 106. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Clear skies tomorrow night. Looking at an overnight low of 73 degrees. South winds 15 to 20 miles per hour. They'll drop down 5 to 10 after midnight. Thursday, sunny, hot, 103 for a high. Winds out of the south 5 to 10 in the morning. 15 to 20 for Thursday afternoon. Friday, we're looking at sunny skies, highs once again right around 103. And then for the weekend, 99 is what they're saying now. Saturday, sunny and 99. Sunday, sunny and 99. Monday, they tacked on a 20% chance of rain. Look at that. I see that there. 20% chance with a high of 101. So we'll see. All right. It is 17 minutes after 7 o'clock. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll get you into your Roswell Livestock Report recap with Smiley Wooten, and then we're going to play our interview with Guy Penrod. He called me yesterday after the show, so we're going to play that for you here in just a bit. Don't go away.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 923 head of cattle sold on Monday on an uneven market with excellent buyer attendance. Compared to last week, stocker steers sold steady to 7 higher, heifer mates 5 to 10 lower, feeder cattle, feeder steers steady to 8 higher, heifer mates 5 to 10 lower, packer cows and bulls $3 to $5 higher, 3 to 400 pound steers $317, $323, 3 to 40 pound heifers $245, $275, 4 to 500 pound steers $287, $323, 4 to 500 pound heifers $235, $245, 5 to 600 pound steers $272, $287, 5 to 600 pound heifers $211, $235, 6 700 pound steers $232, $272, 6 700 pound heifers $193, $211, 7 800 pound steers $214, $232, 7 800 pound heifers $188, $193, packer cows $105, $117, canner and cutter cows $85 to $90, packer bulls $120, $132, feeder bulls $105, $115, top half the cow calf pairs not well tested this week. The bred cows $1,400 to $1,700 per head. Now remember, this is the top of the market. Prices range down from this according to quality, quantity, condition, and feel. We do appreciate the business. We'll talk to you next Monday morning. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
When you or a loved one need medical transport, cost and ability to pay shouldn't get in the way. That's why Trans-Aero Medevac, through the generous support of the Written in Red Foundation and PY Foundation, provide air ambulance memberships to the residents of Eddy County at no out-of-pocket cost. As an Eddy County resident, as long as you're flown by Trans-Aero Medevac, Trans-Aero will accept your insurance or third-party payment with no additional out-of-pocket expense to you. Best of all, as a resident of Eddy County, you're automatically enrolled, free of charge. Because when minutes matter, financial burden should be the last thing on anyone's mind. You have a choice. Be sure to request Trans-Aero, a streamlined, personal, patient, and family-friendly air ambulance service. For more information, visit transaeromedevac.org. Trans-Aero Medevac. They really are wings for life.
Do you struggle with acne, eczema, or worry about skin cancer? Research suggests that 1 in 5 Americans will develop skin cancer by the age of 70, but when detected early, 99% of skin cancer cases are curable. At Epiphany Dermatology of Roswell, we place special emphasis on prevention, screening, and treatment, so schedule your annual skin exam by calling us at 575-208-7050 or by visiting our website at epiphanydermatology.com and get checked today. Prevention is key.
Sure, you can inspect your own roof, get out that rickety ladder, crawl around up there and try to spot the problem until... Or you can call the experts at Do Right Roofing. Do Right Roofing has quality products for any type of roof. They can even install seamless gutters. Do Right Roofing will inspect your roof and give you a free estimate fast. Keep your feet on the ground. Call Do Right Roofing today.
575-623-2273. Let Do Right do your roof right.
Find them fast in names and numbers. Join us at the Eddy County Fair, where we gather to honor the diligent young individuals driving southeastern New Mexico's agricultural industry forward. Let us come together at the Eddy County Fair to applaud and recognize the outstanding individuals who contribute to the growth and prosperity of our state. Pecos Valley Production takes pride in the accomplishments of our young farmers and ranchers and proudly supports the FFA and 4-H and is committed to the agricultural industry. PecosValleyProduction.com. Support your local farmer, fresh from our farm to you.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The catfish has over 27,000 taste buds. Do you think they prefer fried or blackened? Here's Mike Winters.
And welcome back to the morning show, and joining us on the phone this morning, dare I say, legendary gospel singer, Guy Penrod, back with us. Good morning, sir. How are you? Also joining us in studio, I don't want to get in trouble, Amy McVeigh-Tejas is also here to join us as well. Guy, first off, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us. We do appreciate that.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm looking forward to the opportunity of being back out in New Mexico and And the only thing I take offense with is call it, if I'm a legend, doesn't that make me old?
Oh, yeah, that's true. You're not that old, so.
I'm just playing.
Maybe
no.
Legendary, junior legendary.
Hey, there you go.
Junior on it, the front. It'll make
youthful.
There you go.
Youthful legend.
There you go. I like that.
No, I'm dinking around, bro.
How's life in Tennessee? Is the weather pretty good there, or is it hot?
It's fabulous. Yeah, we've been soaked actually for the last week and a half, 2 weeks. So we're welcoming a nice, sunny, dry week. It looks as though we're going to have 8 or 10 days of just full sun and hot summer weather. Like you want in the summer.
Well, we've been dealing with 105, 110 for the last month in Roswell, in southeast New Mexico. I'm hoping in a month from now, August 31st, when you're here, that has passed and we're just back into the 90s like normal.
Man, I hope so too. I'll tell you, that's when I say it's a good place to be from.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, wow.
Which, for folks that aren't familiar, yes, Guy, your family, Hobbs, New Mexico area, right? That's where you grew up and raised. Am I correct?
I did. Yeah. High school years over in Hobbs, earlier years from, young childhood through junior high in Las Cruces, actually, a little further south in the state.
Okay.
But then spent a lot of time in Roswell. My grandparents lived there. My mom was from Roswell, and her sister, Donna. And so we were fixtures in Roswell. We had our loving family there, and so we were there a whole lot. I consider home.
I think I'm just saying we're kind of lucky. We lucked out because you just so happen to have family here in Roswell, so you're kind of on the hook to come see us from time to time. So,
well, you got those aliens too. We like to come just make sure things haven't gotten wacky out there. So every now and then we drop in just to make sure the green guys hadn't taken over.
That's right. That's true too. So, of course, folks, if you missed, what was it, about 5 years ago?
5 years ago.
5 years ago, Guy was back in here and did another amazing concert, sold out. So if you missed that one, this is your chance at redemption. You can come out August 31st. Guy's going to be at Grace Community Church. Again, there's still, I think, are there still golden circles, or are they gone?
So the golden tickets are gone. I've said it, and we've said it numerous times.
Okay,
Guy Penrod is a golden ticket. Many would say that. Many have said that. And the golden tickets are sold out, but that does not mean
I just keep hearing every now and then it's like, I can get you one here now. So I didn't know if there was like a little inside game on getting a golden ticket now or not.
Now, we've worked on a couple of sponsorships. I will say we've got a couple of sponsorship area tickets available. So anybody that just wants to support this wonderful endeavor and maybe allow us the opportunity to pay it forward tickets and those types of things, which, Guy, I would love to say we've been paying forward some tickets to some golden treasures around here that you will love to see some familiar faces.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm sure I will. I have so many loved friends there, so I really look forward to it.
I will tell you this. Amy's going to get a little like, what are you doing? But I'm going to do this anyway. About 2 months ago, Amy brought in a sign to keep in the studio here with your sign promoting the concert and everything. And so it's just been kind of, that one's been kind of in our lobby here. I will tell you, for the last...
Guy, you're everywhere.
For the last 2 months, I've had nothing but women that come in here going, he's dreamy. Look at him. You have got
all I can say is they need a new prescription.
You have got a following, sir, and there's a bunch of ladies that can't wait to meet you here in Roswell, New Mexico. They were all telling me how's dreamy.
Guy, we've even had some women blushing when they speak of him.
No.
Oh, it's funny. We've heard the term dreamy. Silver locks, the beautiful silver locks.
It's the hair.
Really?
They love the flowing hair. The flowing hair is doing it.
Yeah, my family just calls it old. They're just like, you're old. I invite all the positive reinforcement. It's good. I turned 60 this year, so I'm gonna take all the positive reinforcement.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Well, if you think he looks amazing, wait to hear his voice.
There you go. There you go. That's for sure.
But yeah, of course, you've got a long history in gospel music. I mean, it's a huge thing. So you probably know that part already. But I think it just amazed me, even more so than last time. Like this time, I've had more women just come, oh, look, he's dreaming. I was just like, wow, there's some ladies that are waiting for Guy here. I can't wait.
Well, Guy knows the size of Roswell, and Guy, we've got 100 posters out. We have over 10 large banners out. So you are literally everywhere.
My goodness. I need to hire you guys to go with me to every concert and get the word out. I mean, you could teach some of these other guys some lessons about advertising, huh?
Well, it's real easy when you got the hair. The hair is what I just got to point the hair, and the hair does the rest.
Yeah, I hear you.
Mike's got the hair envy, right?
I got the lack thereof hair. I'm follically challenged, but
the long and short of it.
Yeah. So nowadays, you would like. Because obviously, at this point, you just do this because you love doing it. I mean, you got your farm, they're in Tennessee. I mean, is this kind of like when you get to go out and go do shows when you want to? Is this like the goal for your music? Like back, when you're with the Gallup. I mean, the whole career. But like at this point now, is it like for this? It's like now I'm at the point where I get to do what I want, and yeah, if I want to perform, I get to perform. But if I don't want to, then I go back on the farm. I mean, was that the goal? Is that life? Did you hit it? Is that, where you get to kind of write your own ticket, so to speak?
Well, I don't know if that particular moment ever comes when you have 8 kids.
This is true.
I'm finding out that they come back. They go get married, and then they start having kids, and they bring more back with them.
And they want things.
So the need to stay touring for us musicians is kind of consistent, and so I'm not seeing a big lag in it.
Okay.
But I will say that the challenges we went through a couple of years ago with COVID it slowed things down for me.
Sure.
Kind of on purpose there, but I kind of embraced it, and honestly, I am just taking things that really crank my tractor rather than just pulling the cash register arm or just running around like a chicken with my head cut off, because it does the feeling of being able to do purpose-filled things that you feel like it's just something I'm supposed to do.
Sure,
is somewhat rewarding in ways that merely providing, while that brings a fabulous reward, and it's a privilege to be that person. It can be stressful as well. So, yeah, I'm finding time to get back on the porch here at the house and kick feet up and do some bush hogging and mowing. Out here, you can't kill the grass. Growing up out there, you had to essentially, water day and night in order to have grass.
Right.
But out here, you can put, 2,4-D, whatever you like, to try to poison that stuff, and it just comes right back and it'll grow right over you. So
yeah, you sneeze and the grass grows.
That's right. So we spend a good bit of time mowing and carrying on out here like that. And I still have 3 in college. I got one master's student that graduates this year, and then a senior as well, and then a sophomore. And so that bill is pretty serious. And
I gotta ask though,
keep on going a little bit.
Isn't the point of having 8 kids to get to a point where they take care of you at some point?
Bingo. Yeah, bingo. You hit that nail on the head. I'm waiting for that to happen.
When does that start? I'm hearing these masters and things. That sounds like the tools you need to take care of Daddy.
Right. Yeah, we haven't gotten to that one yet. I'm hoping it comes real soon.
Okay.
But before that one where they have to, help you with your diapers or pick what nursing home you're going to be in, I'm trying to sow good seeds so they pick a nice one day.
That's true. You gotta be nice just enough so they don't put you in a someplace too bad.
That's right. Yeah, no, we love our place, obviously, and we have a full life. It's wonderful. Now we have 6 granddaughters, 5, and a 6th one due in a couple weeks. So
wow. You're gonna have a full ranch. That farm's just good. Can't wait to the holidays. That place you're gonna get to. You're gonna have to get extra help to provide for all the family and everything. Gonna be there for the holidays.
Hire the Cartwright brothers.
There
to
you
come
go.
over.
There you go.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. But I mean, I imagine you wouldn't have it any other way. You know, that's your family. You get life. That's what life is, and it's that's the part that makes me happy is like, yeah, you know, you're kind of writing your own ticket and sing when you want to sing because obviously that's your passion, and you know, but at the same time, you know, as you get older in life, the things you care about change too, and now you get to kind of go with that too, and that's where I'm actually just so happy for you, and that's great that you get to have that, and that's what everybody wants, and I'm awesome. I'm so
well,
happy.
it is. It's such a privilege to be a parent and to be a grandparent, and you know, you do start to find out. I learned some things from the older guys that we toured with for years. One of the old guys named Jake Hess, he used to tell us, boys, y'all look out now. Just make sure the footlights out on the stage don't get brighter than the lights at the house. And you know, I like that analogy. It's very it's deeper than it sounds. Indeed.
I would imagine of all, like when artists get to the level you are and many of the other musical artists, I would have got to imagine that's probably the hardest lesson in life to learn is because the you know, when you're out on the stage and the crowd loves you and that can wash over you and can give you, I would even argue, a false sense of security sometimes, and then life reminds you real quick how it is, and so I
true. It's one of those things that I'm sure you experience at some level as well. Everyone does at some level. You know, when you get appreciated, you enjoy it.
Yeah,
and so there's a fundamental crowd, I guess I would say, that you kind of have to focus that gratitude on, and that is your family. They appreciate you and need you, first and foremost. And while the other stuff is a blast, and I certainly enjoy it and consider it a calling at some level, and a job at other levels, like everybody has, you know, the need to go out and make money and provide. If you can keep the focus, and I've had a lot of help with folks helping me do it on the important things, you know, make the thing.
Yeah.
And you know, tends to kind of work itself out. And I have a great wife. Oh, she's Laura Ingalls of the 20th century, 21st century.
I can imagine no successful artist like yourself would ever be at the level you're at without the support system of family, and that's and usually when you don't, that's when they make a movie on Netflix about you.
Oh Lord, help us. Well, they probably already could, but you know, the good news in our business is we got each other's back, because in our line of work, it's not a matter of whether you're going to hit a wall; it's a matter of when.
Sure.
So I don't pretend to have everything together perfectly. There's only one day that'll happen. That's when I reach heaven.
Yeah.
And God perfect everything. But until then, we're all works in progress. So I'm just thankful that those high and mighty ivory tower sitters that like to report bad news on everybody, they don't show up at my house. If they do, I may turn that gun on them and say, well, let's open y'all's closet and see what you got going on.
That's true. You know, everyone, these people that love to judge, it's like, all right, let's take a look at what's behind your door.
That's right. That tends to quieten folks down pretty fast.
It tend to does, you know, the glass house thing.
That's right.
Yeah, but I got a great sweetie and a wonderful family and support group, like you said, so I am thankful.
So for you musically now, is it what you know, where are you at? Is it just performing and things, or are you kind of like, no, I want to write new music? I mean, where are you at musically now? Where is it family now, or do you get into a moment where you feel like writing and doing that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we actually do. Writing is something that I've been honing for quite some time. I don't feel accomplished. I've been around so many great writers that it's intimidating, honestly. Sure. It feels like, I'll let you guys write, and I'll just... But,
I can see that.
That is true. Touring is like you described it. I have a good opportunity now to kind of take the things you want to make the time to do. Mm-hmm. So that's that. Recording has changed so much with all of the tech advances that have happened.
Sure.
So what I find myself doing now, we started our own label, and we have started a couple different companies that our goal at this point is to find young, new talent, and to bring them to the forefront and to help them steward something. I experienced some wonderful stewardship in my career with the Gaithers. Bill had done so many artist things for so long. He had a good sense of how to protect artists and pour into them good things. And I've had some experiences where it wasn't quite as positive. And I think that, our time here is short. Referencing a friend of mine who I travel with named Mark Lowry, he's a comedian, he's a nuthead, but he used to say this thing that I find myself repeating a lot. Statistics show 1 out of 1 dies. And rather than looking at it in a morbid way, I don't mean that. I just mean there was an old country song that I used to like, said, you get one time around, one roll of the dice, one good look at out the window, one good chance at life. And the whole idea is make the most of the days that you have, So
absolutely,
we want to help artists identify their loves and the passion of what's in their heart to say.
Sure.
And then put a support system around them, because through the years I've gathered a whole lot of great relationships. So management teams, booking teams, touring teams, all the logistical things, audio, sound, video that we have good relationships with. And then bring new artists to the forefront and then help them. Nice. Steward them. Don't just throw them out on the road and say, well, if you pay enough, you can play, but rather approach it from a very purposeful perspective. And honestly, our goal is to sow the ways of God, a biblical view for living life out into the culture, because this culture's lost as a goose in a windstorm.
You ain't wrong.
So we got to try to help folks. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So the artists that you work with, are they all gospel, or do they kind of cover the other all the genres of music?
No, we've got several different kids that we have been working with that are on the full kind of spectrum of music.
Okay, so some of them could
I'm not really much into thrash metal, honestly.
Right.
So sorry for those of you that may be listening to your station that are. I kind of doubt there's
we're a talk station. We got all kinds. So
there you go. So we're not into that, but beyond that, we're pretty wide open as God brings folks along. We're gonna try to help, affect culture with music. I think it's a powerful tool. So,
although I have heard Christian death metal. It's weird, but it does exist.
Kind of an oxymoron, but hey, it's there. Why not?
It does exist. So
there you go.
Every what is it? Every thing has a pot. Whatever the saying. Yeah. Anyway,
that's right. That is
good. If you're just tuning in, we are being joined here by Guy Penrod, who is going to be in Roswell. It's not quite a month, about a month from now, August 31st. It's going to be at Grace Community Church. Tickets are available. There's not many left. The Golden Circle VIPs are sold. You're going to have to get into the scalper market for those. But for the general admission, we got still a few available. You can call Grace Community Church. You can also call the Historical Society or go to roswellnmhistory.org and get your tickets there. I tell you, if you wait till August 31st, you're going to be outside dang, I can't get into the show, because it will be packed. It'll be sold out. So get your tickets now while the getting's still good, because I'm telling you, once we get, and I know we're the land of mañana. You probably know this from when you lived here. We wait till the last minute to do anything around in New Mexico.
I kind of wish that we had a little more of that here in Middle Tennessee. That the way we said it back home was siesta time. I wish we kind of had a little more of that Mexican influence in Middle Tennessee, but. We'll have to import some more folk in here.
Maybe we could trade. We could maybe rub a little off on y'all, and then you rub a little rain slash speeding things up a little bit and get people a little more proactive on things.
Hey, there you go. I hear you.
Good deal. But yes, get your tickets. And I'm telling you, if you missed them the first time, you don't want to miss them a second time.
They didn't believe it would happen, and it did. Guy, I just have to say this on behalf of the Historical Society. I hope that you feel this huge, wonderful blanket of love embracing you and your whole family. Because I know people that have not experienced a Guy Penrod concert. It's not about Guy, but it is. But just as wonderful as his voice is it's his conviction for life and just positivity. And the Kool-Aid that he serves up on that night is Kool-Aid you'll never forget, and it's an everlasting love. So
absolutely.
We just can't thank you for coming back to this area that everybody thinks of you as family, guys. So if we gave a Golden Circle ticket to everybody that thinks of you as family, that's the power of Guy Penrod. He loves you like you are family, whether you are or not.
There you go.
It's the truth.
Well, I already feel it. Thank you, Amy.
Yes.
And we definitely feel the love from Roswell. It's a second home for me, having just spent so much time in my early childhood all the way through to college when I took off and then return trips. So just know that we feel it, we know it, we return it, and are looking forward to being out there with folks. And Golden Circle or not, I'm going to be there till the doors are shut and locked and the lights are turned out, and shaking and howdying and loving on our dear friends. So
every circle will be a Golden Circle that night. So, yeah.
There you go.
It really is.
And the circle won't be broken.
It's not
on that night in Roswell.
Nice.
There you go.
Come on.
That'll be the third song of the night. We're gonna he's gonna finish that, and then we'll do. But
let's get it writ first, won't we?
Well, you got a month. That's plenty of time.
Hey, he practiced our wedding music when I married his cousin. He rehearsed it on the airplane, I think. So he can do anything in like just a couple of minutes.
All right. Well, I hear the bathroom. I hear the bathroom at Grace Community Church has great acoustics. If you need to work something out in there,
hey, there you go. There you go. That was one of our claims to fame. One of the biggest memories in my life in music. We've been all over the world and sung at all these just world famous venues, and it's just so cool. But when I get asked, I say it's the shower in the Dallas Cowboy locker room in the old Texas Stadium.
Oh, wow.
We were there at a Graham Crusade back in the day, and our group, the Gaither Vocal Band, was in the locker room. That was where we were set up for our pre-show area. And Bill loved to rehearse, so we were rehearsing songs. Well, in walks Cliff Barrows and Dr. Graham and George Beverly Shea, which they were known as the Big Three in those days in that circle.
Okay.
And Bill couldn't stand it. He wanted everyone to get in the big old shower there, the team, where they cleaned up and all after the games, and sing an a cappella song. So that's maybe the highlight in my brain, because I grew up listening to Dr. Graham at the Crusades and listening to George Beverly Shea. I used to order his records back when you remember, bro, big old 33s, right? So that's what we would listen to with the scratchy needle and all, and I would order his records and listen, try to sound like him. And so to be able to be in that setting, and look out the door there, and there's Roger Staubach's locker that they've commemorated, and Emmett Smith and Tony Dorsett and Randy White and Ed Too Tall Jones and Harvey Martin, all these guys back in my day when I was just a dyed-in-the-wool Cowboys fan. I'm in there singing with my gospel heroes too,
So that's, to me, that's the greatest thing that came out of that stadium was your song in that bathroom. I'm not a Cowboys fan, so.
No, Guy, if you could see it right now, I'm staring at go ahead and say the helmet.
Yeah, well, I'm from Maryland, D.C. area, so I grew up a Redskins fan. So
my God!
Yeah, I'm married to a Cowboys fan, so I'm kind of a masochist.
I can only imagine what that game day was like.
But
thank God they've renamed them. The bunch of woke crowd has renamed them.
Well,
so now what are they? Not Nationals.
Commanders. Yeah.
Commanders. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, we got a new owner over the weekend, so we're pretty happy right now.
That's
so
true.
They
Good
finally
things
got rid
to
of the owner that stunk so bad for so long.
Yeah, that poor old guy. He couldn't get it together, could he?
No. He brought it on himself, though. I don't feel too bad for him.
You know, honestly, as Cowboys fan, if you were a true Cowboys fan, you loved the Redskins too. You just did.
Because you can't have one without the other.
It was symbiotic. It was like one of those, fish that cleans a big whale. You have to be together.
But
of course, the big whale were the Cowboys.
Well, I've toured the new one. Like I've done more stuff as a Redskin fan for Cowboys stuff than probably Cowboys fans have.
That's crazy.
Because I'm married to my wife and she wanted to see it.
There you go.
Where my wife goes, I go.
Happy wife, happy life.
You nailed it.
Yeah, buddy.
That's all right. Now that my team might get respectable again, I'll drag her to some of that stuff.
There you go. That's right. Turnabout's fair play.
Exactly, too. But Guy, I know we probably should let you get back to it. I'm sure you got a bunch of stuff, and we can't wait to see you out here in a few weeks, and we look forward to just hearing the beautiful music. And it's been 5 years. It's been 5 years too long. We're ready to for a night of fun and entertainment. So we can't wait.
I agree. I agree, brother. Thank you for the kindness, and Amy, thank you for all the hard work that the Historical Society and your team puts in, and for radio and the hard work that you guys all do. I'm one of the old guys that knows the power of that and knows kind of where his bread's buttered. So my old adage is you dance with the ones that brung you.
Mm-hmm.
And
amen.
And radio has been our friend for a long time. So thanks, Mike, for all the hard work you put in as well.
Well, thank you.
We love y'all, and we're looking forward to being out there.
We look forward to it. And I'll make sure
Can't wait.
I'll make sure Amy has some green chili something ready for you when you get home.
Yes, come on.
Hey, Guy, just let it be known that your hotel room will be filled with a Southwest blessings.
Yes.
We'll just leave it there.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
There you go.
These poor people in Middle Tennessee don't know what Mexican food is.
And whatever's in your basket, it's between us and the Lord. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's healthy because it's locally made. You know what I mean?
I won't tell Ange all the fattening stuff that's in there. It'll just be from heaven. We'll bless it and eat it.
It's heavenly. That's right.
They may know about smoking meats in Tennessee, but they don't know nothing about green chili Mexican food. So.
You got that right.
There you go. Amen.
And so maybe you can bring some back with them. Just say,
There
hey,
you go.
introduce, this is, when you smoke your meats, put some of this. It's called flavor.
Right. We used to put green chilies on everything.
That's right. That's right.
That's right. So, well, thank you very much, sir. So appreciative of it. And we'll see you here on the 31st.
We love you.
All righty. I look forward to it. Blessings, y'all. We love you.
And now your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. Tragedy in Roswell as police continue the hunt for the person who struck a pedestrian on Monday at South Main and Burkett Road in Roswell. And that person then fled the scene, according to police. The 21-year-old pedestrian, a woman, died. Witnesses said they saw an orange sports car with black stripes, possibly a Chevy Camaro, speeding away. It may also have front-end damage. If you know anything, please call RPD, 575-624-6770. And an arrest Sunday in a murder case. A local woman charged with murder and other crimes after allegedly stabbing to death her girlfriend at the home they shared in West Roswell. 40-year-old Monica Ortiz is being held at the Chavez County Jail for charges of first-degree murder, armed robbery, and tampering with evidence. The charges, according to police, resulted from an investigation by RPD, Criminal Investigations Division, into the death of 33-year-old Patricia Molinar Franco early Sunday morning. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
A funny thing happened at Netflix. First, it angered millions by cutting off friends and relatives who were using your account but not living with you. Some canceled, but then things changed. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by T-Mobile. Their advanced network now goes farther than ever before. Visit T-Mobile.com/55 today. The people Netflix cut off apparently realized that spending $10 to $15 a month for Netflix wasn't so bad after all. And suddenly, those canceled accounts turn into new accounts, millions, and they just keep coming and coming. 5.9 million as of today. So let's do the math. Each account generates at least $10 a month. At 5.9 million, that comes to $59 million new dollars every single month. That's more than $750 million a year in new revenue. And it proves, regardless of all the belt tightening and talk of recession, Netflix is the one streaming service Americans just can't seem to live without. Get TechSmart every single day and join over 400,000 people who get my free newsletter at getkim.com. We've all picked up the call and heard. We're calling to let you know that your car's warranty expired. For those who don't know, these calls are often used to steal your personal information. And sorry to burst your bubble, but that includes the ones saying you've been selected as a winner of a free cruise. So how do you stop them? With RoboKiller, of course. RoboKiller harnesses the power of artificial intelligence to block up to 99% of unwanted calls, including robocalls and scammers. Did you know that the average phone scam victim loses $1,500? This is serious business, and with RoboKiller, spammers can't just change their number to reach you. RoboKiller examines the audio of each call to identify threats, and with customized call blocking, you only get the calls you want. See why millions rely on RoboKiller. Download the app from the iOS or Google App Store and get 20% off with promo code KIM20. That's code KIM20 for 20% off at RoboKiller. Download the app on the iOS or Google App Store today.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. No let up on the heat for the next few days. 105 to 108 for the high this afternoon. Wind will be a little bit gusty and we get sunshine. Overnight looks clear, low 70s and breezy, and then 104 to 106 for the afternoon high on Wednesday and sunny. We'll be staying in the low 100s through the upcoming weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. A potential UPS strike feels closer than ever. Negotiations broke down earlier this month, and unionized workers have been holding rallies and practice pickets across the country. The Teamsters, which represent more than half of the company's workforce, will resume talks with UPS on Tuesday. The American Airlines Pilot Union has indefinitely postponed the ratification vote for tentative contract agreement. American Airlines pilots were due to vote on Monday after the company on Friday raised the value of its contract offer to pilots by more than $1 billion. After 17 years with an iconic bluebird logo, billionaire Elon Musk renamed Twitter as X. On Monday, a stylized white X on a black background became the new logo on Twitter's website. Oil prices climbed over 2% on tightening supply, rising U.S. gasoline demand, hopes for Chinese stimulus measures, and technical buying. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
More than 50 million Americans live with chronic pain. If you're experiencing pain that interferes with your daily life, Artesia General Hospital can help. Dr. Casey Della Barca and our compassionate team of providers treat a variety of conditions, including arthritis, back and neck pain, migraines, neuropathy, and more. We offer advanced procedures and comprehensive therapy, and we personalize treatment plans to help you get back to living a quality life. Request an appointment at artesiageneral.com/pain.
The Calico Cow has moved to a new home. Visit the Calico Cow at their new home, 200 East College, behind Farley's in Roswell. Lots of exciting changes at the new Calico Cow. New LED lighting, an amazing large classroom, plus more space, which means lots of new items and an even bigger selection of fabrics. Come see it for yourself. Want to know how? Come see the cow. The Calico Cow's new home at 200 East College in Roswell.
New Mexico can be safer, and we can protect our loved ones from gun-related injuries when we lock up our guns. New Mexico has one of the highest rates of gun violence in the country, with numbers nearly 2 times higher than the national average. But safe gun storage is a proven strategy that reduces gun violence in all our communities. Protect New Mexico by securing your firearms. Visit safestoragenm.org to learn more. Brought to you by the New Mexico Department of Health.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Men are 6 times more likely to be struck by lightning than women. That's because men are 6 times more likely to wear a tinfoil hat in a thunderstorm. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:56. Stay tuned next hour, about 8:15 or so. We're going to replay our interview we had with Juanita Jennings, Public Affairs Director for the City of Roswell, and Officer Kidd with the Roswell Police Department. Talked about some upcoming events, and of course, also with Officer Kidd, talked about National Night Out, which is next Tuesday at the Roswell Recreation and Aquatic Center. So we'll fill you in on all that next hour. Don't forget, this week, the Chaves County Fair is happening out at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds. Also, the Eddy County Fair gets underway today out at the Eddy County Fairgrounds there in Artesia. If you can't be out at the fairs to check out the livestock shows, tell your out-of-town friends and family that you can check out all of the livestock shows for the Chaves County Fair and Eddy County Fair on our video streaming website, ksvptv.com. Just click on the Chaves County Fair channel or the Eddy County Fair channel, and you'll find the livestock shows and everything there as they happen. They'll be available live and then on demand afterwards, too. Yesterday out at the Chaves County Fair, they had the rabbit show, the dairy goat show, the pet show, and the dog show. Today, they've got the swine show. That's going to kick off here in just a few minutes at 8 a.m. Then at 1:30 this afternoon, they're going to have the meat goat show. And then tonight, don't forget, they're going to have a rodeo at 7 p.m. For tomorrow, they've got the sheep show. That's going to be at 8 a.m. The poultry show at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And then tomorrow late afternoon, early evening, the dairy heifer show at 5:30 p.m. Thursday, they've got the beef heifer and steer show. That's at 8 a.m. And the fashion extravaganza at 4 p.m. And then don't forget, the highlight of the Chaves County Fair will be Friday evening with the junior livestock sale. That's going to be at 7 p.m. That's when they have the big auction, and they raise a bunch of money for these kids for either college or for their next fair project. So that's always a fun time and kind of the most exciting time of the fair. But definitely get out there and root on the kids at the shows and tell all your out-of-town friends and family. KSVPTV.com has all of the livestock shows there to watch live and then on demand. You would be surprised at how many folks tune into our livestock shows and things. It's pretty impressive. We get hundreds, sometimes thousands looking at steer shows and stuff. It's especially kids with big families. Yeah, they're out spread out. We get a lot. So root the kids on. But if you can be out at the ring, go out there and root them on. Get you lunch and all that good stuff, and have a good time out there. So, but we'll be out there filming. I know Roy and Tanner and all those guys are going to be out there all week. So if you see them, they're going to be sweating. Give them a water or something. They could probably use it. But yeah, it's a fun week out at the fair. So get out there. It's if you've never been to one, it's kind of cool. I mean, I grew up in Maryland. I didn't grow up necessarily on a farm or ranch, and so that's not really a lifestyle I'm familiar with. But going and seeing all the livestock shows over the years and watching the kids do their thing, it's just fun to watch. It's just watching these tiny, kids that sometimes are 3.5 feet tall, and they're working these big, 800-pound animals. It's just impressive to watch. So go check out the fair this week. All right, it is 8 o'clock. Time for some Town Hall News. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Your home for Kim Commando in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. There have been more demonstrations across Israel following Parliament's approval of part of the Prime Minister's judicial reform plan, curbing the powers of the country's Supreme Court. In Jerusalem, the BBC's Paul Adams says reform opponents accuse Benjamin Netanyahu of damaging Israel's democracy.
Benjamin Netanyahu has won an important victory. Defying months of passionate street protests, he's managed to pass one key part of his judicial reform program, limiting the powers of the Supreme Court. Last night, in a primetime address, he called for national unity, but indicated he plans to press ahead with reforms which his opponents argue undermine the rule of law and Israeli democracy.
The Department of Justice making good on its threat to sue the state of Texas over the border barrier the state has built in the middle of the Rio Grande. Governor Greg Abbott says the purpose of that floating border wall is to keep people from trying to make the dangerous swim across the river to enter the U.S. illegally. The Biden administration proposes requiring insurers to provide the same level of coverage for both mental and physical health issues.
The Biden administration says it's aiming to address issues such as insurers enabling nutritional counseling for diabetes patients, but making it more difficult for those with eating disorders. By measuring outcomes, the White House says it will force insurers to make modifications to come into compliance with the law.
That's correspondent Julie Walker. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis was not injured after being involved in a car accident today while traveling to campaign events in Tennessee. A campaign spokesman says it happened while DeSantis was on his way to an event in Chattanooga. DeSantis scheduled to hold events throughout central and eastern Tennessee. He does plan to keep that schedule. Wall Street, the Dow down 23 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The recent bank failures are serving as a warning about how fragile our banking system really is. As millions of Americans panic, do you know what central banks are doing? Well, they're actually buying up gold at record levels. They're relying on it as a safe haven during these difficult times. That's how confident they are.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
They've made sure to insist that as heat records continue, as peaks of temperatures could rise on Wednesday and Thursday, the risk of fires is still high.
A third successive heat wave in Greece, pushing temperatures back above 104 degrees across parts of the country, following more nighttime evacuations from the fires that have been raging out of control for days. A powerful typhoon is closing in on the northern Philippines, forcing thousands of evacuations and a halt to sea travel ahead of torrential rains and tidal surges. News and analysis, townhall.com. Georgia's famous Big Peanut is standing tall once again.
The roadside landmark along Interstate 75 in South Georgia was rededicated Thursday. That's nearly 5 years after an earlier version was felled by the winds of Hurricane Michael in October 2018. The new giant goober is made of sheet metal, not fiberglass. It's a symbol of pride in the heart of South Georgia's peanut belt. The Big Peanut also beckons tourists to pull off the highway in the small town of Ashburn. The Ashburn-Turner County Chamber of Commerce raised nearly $80,000 to replace the peanut. The majority of the money came from the Georgia Department of Agriculture. Keith Peters reporting.
Later today, President Biden's expected to sign a proclamation establishing a national monument honoring Emmett Till, the black teen from Chicago, abducted, tortured, and killed in Mississippi in 1955. The crime helped to propel the civil rights movement. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2. We're always going to have to do it. Sean's on the air.
The Deuce.
Oh, Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. Thank you, Roy, for your apropos deuce. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope all of you are having a wonderful day thus far and ready to get your tackling fuel for another hot day in southeast New Mexico.
The Deuce.
There you go. Yeah, we've got a double deuce.
I know, we got double deuce. I had to fill in deuce, but right as
soon Patrick Swayze going to show up.
Right as I was going to come over here and deuce it, I got a phone call. Gave away a meet and greet pass.
Is he Mr. Cracker?
Yep. We determined at this point he's a great uncle.
Great Uncle Cracker.
Great Uncle Cracker.
Speaking, I saw all of the Creed movies now. I've seen the 3.
Oh, Creed. I was like, Cream movies?
Well, the only reason it reminded me of it, this is what reminded me. You gotta. So, Creed, Adonis Creed, his nickname for Rocky is his uncle. He calls him Unc. So when you said uncle, I was like, oh, Rocky. I saw the third Creed movie finally. It was all right. There's no Rocky in the third Creed movie.
I've heard a lot of people say it sort of suffers because of that, and wasn't as good. Personally, I haven't seen any of the Creed movies.
And if you like Rocky, you'll like Creed. They really follow that same formula. They follow that same.
It's sort of I was okay
emotional thing.
I was okay with Rocky. It was I
loved him as a kid. I was a huge Rocky fan. I grew up. That was my era. I mean, the Rocky 1, I kind of watched as a little older because I was like, I wasn't even 10 yet when that came out.
Right.
But as I got a little older, and then the Rocky 3s came out. Like Rocky 3, when that came out, that's right about the age where I started caring about Rocky. So I saw the first Rocky, and then Rocky 2, and then 3 on out. But I always loved him, especially because I was in that time where Mr. T was still.
Yeah.
He was relevant. Mr. T was the thing, and then Hulk Hogan showed up in that one. And you're like, whoa, this Rocky thing's kind of big deal. And
that's true adjacent.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't really get into many of the 80s things. Like I was born in the 80s and I spent a chunk of the 80s alive, more of the 80s than not.
Well, that's right, but most yours is 90s.
I'm more of a 90s person than an 80s person.
I was born in the 70s,
right,
but most of my knowledge is of 80s.
Is in the 80s.
Because I was 73, so I was 7 when 80 hit.
We're parallel just by a decade.
Yeah, basically. Exactly. So the Rocky's my window. That was my stuff, what I loved doing. And so, that's why I like the Creed movies, because they kind of do a good job of keeping that lore of the Rocky and folding the Creed family into that lore. They do a good job of that,
right.
I think. I think this one, and it's not that I'm mad, it bummed me out a little bit, because this third movie was really all Creed family. It was Creed and that's, but there wasn't even a mention of Rocky, and people, without spoiler alert and things, people die in the third movie that if Rocky's around would have been there. And like they don't explain what happened to Rocky. Like Rocky 2, they beat the Russian and everyone's hunky-dory and happy. And then it ends, and then Rocky 3 just starts, or not Rocky 3, Creed 3 starts, and they're in California doing their thing, and Rocky's not even mentioned. So I think that's what upset people. Like, did Rocky die? Is Rocky just chilling in Philly? What are we doing?
And they never
here?
addressed it?
They never say one thing or another. At least that I caught. I never heard, hey, how's Rocky doing? Oh, he's doing, nothing like that.
Right.
And then,
or just started seeing with, all right, thanks for the call.
Yeah.
That was Rocky.
But and the part, I'm going to spoiler it anyway, because you've had enough time to watch this movie. It's been on free for a while now. I'm behind the 8 ball. Felicia Rashad dies in the third one.
Not Felicia Rashad.
Yes.
Oh.
Creed's mom dies in the third one.
Mama Creed?
If she died and Rocky's on Earth, Rocky would have been there. You know what I'm saying? At the funeral, but he wasn't. True. So that, to me, that's where I'm like,
so they
connect the story better.
They poochied Rocky.
Yeah, and that's the part I didn't like about it. And not that do
you know why they did it?
I have no idea why they did it.
Or because apparently Stallone's they said he was going to get the rights to his character back after Creed 2.
Really?
Yeah.
So
he never got his rights back, like, ever.
I thought he had his rights all because he was involved in making these movies and stuff. I figured he was part of the whole deal.
No, the producers kept him like hostage from him for the longest time.
So he gets the right to the Rocky portion of things, but they got the Creed side of things. So I feel like they got the better end.
I don't think he even owns it, like any of the character or anything.
I thought it was all him.
So it was a contract dispute.
I mean, the first movie, sure, but
maybe.
But yeah,
but it is a bummer.
But then they promised him he'd get it after Creed 2, and then they didn't give it to him, so he refused to do Creed 3.
I see.
Although he might come back for Creed 4, I'm hearing.
Oh, really? Well, that was a big moment in the story.
Chose not to make an appearance in Creed 3, citing issues with producer Irwin Winkler and the movie's
Bingo. Bummer. Well, they could at least said, like, well, Rocky's sick in Philly. They could have said something. Right. At least tie it together. So I'm like, okay, now we know Rocky's sick in Philly. At least I know what's going on. Something.
Yeah.
But they didn't even, like, it was just like, who is this Rocky of which you speak? And I'm like, dude, we're all here because of Rocky.
Yeah.
So, just my thoughts. But anyway, the movie was entertaining.
They should have at least addressed the situation. Although maybe they didn't have the right to do so.
Maybe
like he could have sued them if they had dropped.
But they mentioned Rocky in the movie. It's not like he's just not there anymore. I mean,
maybe he has some power to like not even be mentioned in it.
They show the statue and they do all the stuff that
This says the two have long feuded over the rights to the Rocky franchise, which Winkler has owned since the Oscar-winning 1976 original. Stallone naively sold Winkler all the rights all those years ago when he was a struggling actor and clearly unaware of the franchise's potential for the character. Yeah,
I heard he thought that Oscar character was going to get about 7 more movies. That's why he did it.
Now, what I want to know is how anime was it? Creed 3.
The fight scenes.
Because I remember there was a big part of the marketing was Michael B. Jordan and him wanted it to.
They took it in anime.
It was heavily.
No, it wasn't anime. But here's what they did.
It was heavily influenced by anime because he's directing the movie.
Okay. Here's what they did, and this was a little different. Like they get into the Rocky / Creed formula is usually have struggle, first fight, someone gets smoked, then montage, and then fight where the champion wins.
Right.
That's usually the Rocky formula for movie success here. So in this one, when they get to the second fight for the champion, where he's showing, because basically Adonis retires at the beginning of 3, he unifies the belt and then retires, and then he's getting into the grooming business, and then like he runs into an old friend from back in his days when he lived in the orphanage, and this guy went to jail for something they did together, and he was a fighter too and was kind of his mentor and best buddy, and now he grooms him up, but he turns out to be a bad guy and he has to fight him at the end. That's the premise of the movie.
Okay.
So the second fight where they fight this guy at the end, it's the normal Rocky style with the crowd, but partway through the fight they like warp it to the upside down world, and it's just like them two in the ring and all darkness, and just so that's that anime stuff you're talking about. It
gets pretty wild.
It's distracting, and I was like, this is a different take, but all right. I could see what they were trying to do. It missed with me, but I'm not the target.
It's because they're in the zone, and like everyone in the stadium is gone except for the two of them.
That's what they're doing. That's what they're trying to recreate there, and they do it in this weird style. So.
It's funny when you like find a certain director's style and like they insist on like shoehorning it in places it shouldn't be. You ever seen? Oh gosh,
even the training montages are
Crank. You ever seen the Crank movies?
I've seen the very first one
with Jason Statham.
Yeah.
Okay, so Crank 1 is crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's whack. Go watch Crank 2 or Crank Fully Loaded, I think it's called.
Okay.
That movie is High Voltage. Thank you. That movie is a fever dream. Like at one point you actually like you zoom in from one part of the map to another and you see the Google Maps logo at the bottom of the screen. Like at one point there are giant monoliths in the streets and they're like fighting as like King Kong and God. It is a fever dream of a movie. It's still one of my favorites. But it's like the director made some choices in Crank 2 for sure.
Speaking of Crank, I was on a bunch of it when I made this movie.
Crank 1 goes to some extremes.
Yeah.
Crank 2 says, "Hold this, I'll be right back."
Yeah, I did see the first one. That was kind of in Statham's heyday there, so that's why I saw that one.
That was like he made Crank and Transporter like almost simultaneously, and they're both very action packed.
Yeah, well, those were kind of the movies that put him on the map, so to speak. The ones that kind of put him in the stratosphere of action star.
You can say, look, I can ride a tray down a flight of stairs.
One thing you might like about the Creed 3 is that it does pay-per-views like an actual pay-per-view.
Double gun.
It's because I'm double gunning him.
He was finger gunning me.
It's because it does pay-per-views like actually as if you were watching the pay-per-view.
Oh, really?
Like with promos and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
And it actually shows them walking out to entrance music, like wrestling.
Nice.
That's cool. All right, we got to get into our interview. So it is 8:16. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. No let up on the heat for the next few days. 105 to 108 for the high this afternoon. Wind will be a little bit gusty, and we get sunshine. Overnight looks clear, low 70s and breezy, and then 104 to 106 for the afternoon high on Wednesday, and sunny. We'll be staying in the low 100s through the upcoming weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 75 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 34%. Winds are out of the southeast at 8 miles per hour. We do have a heat advisory, as we do every day right now. That'll kick in at noon, remaining in effect through 8 p.m. this evening. 107 under mostly sunny skies today with south winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Clear skies tonight. Expect an overnight low of 73 degrees. South winds 15 to 20, dropping down 10 to 15 after midnight tonight. Sunny with a high of 106 for your Wednesday. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly clear. Overnight low of 73 for tomorrow night. And then Thursday, mostly sunny, 103. South winds 5 to 10 early, 15 to 20 later in the day. Partly cloudy, 73 for an overnight low Thursday evening. And then Friday, sunny and 103. Saturday, sunny and 99. And then sunny and 99. So, and then, a 20% chance of rain on Monday with a high of 101. We'll see how that shapes up. All right, it is 18 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're going to take a 3.5-minute commercial break. Then we're going to play our interview with Juanita Jennings and Officer Kidd from the city of Roswell. That's up next. Don't go away.
At Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium, we honor and pay tribute to the achievements of your loved one by celebrating the life you shared together. Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium is compassionate and cares about our local community and the families we serve here in southeastern New Mexico. Locally owned and operated, we will be here to help you decide how to celebrate the bond you've shared and pay tribute to the unique individual you've lost. Visit us at 2609 South Main in Roswell or call 622-5888.
A good night's sleep is so important, and issues like sleep apnea make falling asleep and staying asleep nearly impossible, but we can help. I'm Dr. Sarah Usher at Carabelli Dental. With the help of a simple oral appliance, your sleepless nights could be a thing of the past. But don't take my word for it, just ask Lainey.
My name is Lainey Smith. I wasn't surprised when I found out I had sleep apnea simply because I had a horrible sleep pattern. I attempted to use the machine and it drove me nuts and I could not sleep with it. And then that's when Dr. Agar told me about the oral appliance. I would suspect I've been using it for 2 years now. In all of that time, I've had less than 10 poor nights of sleep. It's a complete game changer. I feel a lot better because I sleep.
This simple appliance can change your life. Call us today to set up your appointment so you can finally get the good night's sleep you need.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell or call 575-622-4455.
You've had one of those weeks and you just want to relax, but no. You walk through your door and there it is staring you in the face, unflinching, shamelessly attacking your sense of smell. A reminder of poor design choices you made countless years ago. Your sofa. Hi, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. A fresh and comfortable sofa is a luxury you deserve. We have a great selection of reclining and stationary sofas here at Glenn's. Why suffer? Come see us on Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Join us at the Eddy County Fair, where we gather to honor the diligent young individuals driving southeastern New Mexico's agricultural industry forward. Let us come together at the Eddy County Fair to applaud and recognize the outstanding individuals who contribute to the growth and prosperity of our state. Pecos Valley Production takes pride in the accomplishments of our young farmers and ranchers and proudly supports the FFA and 4-H and is committed to the agricultural industry. PecosValleyProduction.com. Support your local farmer, fresh from our farm to you.
Life can be full of risks.
One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-503-3735. 800-503-3735. 800-503-3735. That's 800-503-3735.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You burn more calories sleeping than you do watching television. For the ultimate workout, fall asleep in front of the TV. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Public Affairs Director, bless you, for the Public Affairs Director for the City of Roswell, Juanita Jennings, back with us, and from the Roswell Police Department, Officer Kidd with us this morning. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Good morning.
How's your weekend? How's everybody doing?
Great. Yeah,
good.
It was a long weekend.
I think in Roswell, if there's events going on, pretty much every weekend's a long weekend for you, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm assuming do you get to work days? So did you get the weekend off? Or
Yes,
did you?
I had the weekend off.
All right, well, good. So you it's like Monday for you, just like everybody else. Very good. Well, for folks that aren't familiar, of course, Juanita joins. Usually it's on a Thursday, but I screw up scheduling, so here we are on a Monday. But Juanita usually pops in once a month and just keeps us up to date on things going on, either like at the Rec and Aquatic Center or just at pretty much any of the city facilities and things. Just goes what's going on with the city of Roswell. So time to learn stuff.
Yes, so we have a few updates today, and then I did bring Officer Kidd because we have an event coming up, so we'll get to that in just a minute.
Yes.
But most importantly, big announcement. So youth volleyball is happening at the Roswell Recreation and Aquatic Center. Registration is occurring right now, so you can register your child, your grandchild at roswellconnect.com. It will begin right immediately after registration, which is around August 3rd.
Okay, so you got about 3 weeks here to get signed up.
About a week, I guess.
Is it that quick?
Yes, this is the last weekend of July.
Oh, it's the 24th. Yeah, you're right. Jeez. I was thinking I had another week on me. So you got about a week and a half. 2 weeks to get it
So
done.
make sure to sign up. Pretty much all ages to register, starting at 6 years old, 6, 7.
Okay.
And then just go to roswellconnect.com. You can find all of the information. If you haven't signed up for the new program, you can do that as well. So a membership rate, and then there's just so many different activities that you can take part in. Youth basketball will be coming back as well.
Excellent.
And so all of that information is at roswellconnect.com.
Yeah, don't forget, roswellconnect.com is your website for anything when you want to do recreation side of the city. If you want to get your passes to the aquatic center or the recreation center, if you want to get stuff for the zoo or for the museums or any of that kind of stuff, Roswell Connect is where you find all that stuff. If you want to learn to pay your water bill or contact a city councilor or learn about city hall hours, things like that, the main city website, roswell-nm.gov. They'll get you all that information. But if you want to learn about sports and recreation, Roswell Connect is where you want to go.
Yes. And then another big announcement, the Roswell Convention Center fees have been reduced by 50%.
Awesome.
So if you are looking to host an event, whether that's a baby shower, a wedding, a quinceañera, a conference, you can rent the facility starting at $125.
Okay.
And it goes up to $1,200.
Depending on how much of the building you need and use.
Correct.
Yeah.
And the other great thing about it is it's 50% off of that for local nonprofits and charitable organizations that will be giving back to the community.
Awesome. So folks that want to, been using the convention center for, things like pancakes and stuff over the years, come on back. They've got the fees down to where you can actually, do your nonprofit work.
here's the other great thing about it. You can also bring in your own food now.
Okay.
So if you're cooking, I know that there's a lot of people who love to cook enchiladas and beans and rice and things like that. You can do that now at your own home, bring it in, and they'll set up the tables, tear them down. But again, those fees have been reduced. You can look at all of the fee rentals online at roswell-nm.gov.
Excellent.
Like I said, a new room, one of our newest rooms on the newest side starts at $125 to rent for the day, not per hour. So it's for each room.
Okay.
And then the big hall, which is the east and the west, is at about $1,200 per day.
And there's still food available if you want and all that. No?
No.
Okay.
The convention center staff will not be serving
they're stopping
food.
the food anymore because that
no
part
food.
ended. Okay.
They will provide alcohol, so if you need a bar set up, they can do that.
Okay.
But you can bring in your own food now. So whether you cook that at home or if you want to have a caterer, you can do that. But the rates are really great. If you are a government entity, it's even better. It's free.
Gotcha.
So maybe you have a conference or you have an association that you're a part of through whether that's the state or the county or even like the school. You can utilize that convention center at no cost.
Gotcha.
So please reach out to them, 575-624-6700.
So say something like a state level Department of Health or something to have an event there to promote some kind of community related thing. You get it for free.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it. Good deal.
And then the other thing, before we get into why Officer Kidd is here for National Night Out, the city, so many great things are happening. So just recently, our city council redid one of our ordinances for permitting. So if you own a single resident family home and you would like to maybe do a little bit of remodeling, that permit is $1.
Wow.
$1.
Okay.
So huge savings. Hundreds and thousands of dollars in cost savings to you as a member of this community, whether you're a landscaper, a contractor, or just a single family resident homeowner. That could be maybe updating your fencing. It could be doing a carport. It could be a pool deck. It could be
building a gazebo or something.
Gazebo, plumbing, electrical, anything like that. So make sure you stop by our community development office. They have moved recently, so they're now at 515 North Main Street, which is that big SunWest building.
Yeah. Don't worry, if you go to City Hall, they'll tell you the right place. But you save yourself a trip. Just go to the SunWest building, or some know it as the Bank of America building, but whatever, the big red and white blue building downtown.
Yes, so it's $1. So $1 for the first initial application for whether, again, remodeling, fencing, plumbing, electrical. Huge savings for those that are, building homes here in Roswell.
Absolutely.
So please take advantage of it. You can find more information about the program. It's called our fee abatement program, $1 permits. There is a limited time offer on it, so you will have to apply for the permit before May 11th of 2024.
So if you got projects planned, this might be time to light the fire and get working on those projects.
Yes, or maybe you've been thinking about it, but the cost of a permit,
Sure.
An average cost of the permit about anywhere between $500 to $1,000 when they were telling me about the program. And now it's $1. What a great savings for you if you've been thinking about maybe remodeling a bathroom and you need to get an electrical permit and then you need to get a plumbing permit.
Sure.
It's $1.
Absolutely. And I'm thinking, too, businesses that do this kind of work might want to market that a little bit.
Yes.
Now's the time to get that work done in your home and all that. So it's a good deal. Take advantage of it.
Yeah. Or if you're a builder, if you have a construction company or are building, what a cost savings to you as well. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. We got enough. Everything else is going up in this world. It's kind of nice to get a break for once in a while, So.
Absolutely. So please contact our community development department. Again, 575-624-6700. Yeah. They have moved locations. They're a one-stop shop now.
Yeah.
Right there, 515 North Main. So.
Yes. Yeah. In the SunWest building, just pop in there and the director will tell you where to go and all that. But if you do go to City Hall and you wander around there, and you might hit a couple offices, but they'll send you back over to the SunWest building. So.
Yes, we have. It's so funny. So we have signs up, and then people still they don't read the signs. So our ladies up at the front desk, they do such a great job and redirect them where they need to go. But again, all the information for pretty much anything in the city government related is at our website, roswell-nm.gov.
Yeah.
And you can just type in the search, permit fees or $1 permits, and it'll pop right up on our community development page.
Yeah. If you haven't been to the website, either website, Roswell Connect or the .gov, either one are great resources. You should check in from them from time to time. At the city's .gov website there, they have the calendar of events. So if you want to know when meetings are, or even if you want links to past meetings, all of that is at that website. So if you want to see the city council meeting from this past month or 2 months ago, that's where you go to find that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But everything, or employment, if you're looking for, there's lots of employment opportunities through the city, probably through the RPD and many other city departments.
Yeah.
Through that website, that's where you're going to navigate through that. But if you want to get your season passes for the aquatic center or for the recreation center, if you want to sign up for volleyball or any of the fall sports here, or when Brews of the Zoos and things like that happen, Roswell Connect is where you want to go to get information and to sign up for that kind of stuff. UFO Festival, even some of the stuff there during that time, that's city sponsored. That's usually through there too. So Roswell Connect's a good one especially if you got kids and stuff and want to get them involved. You should constantly be checking back and forth in that one. But if anything, city, infrastructure, government related, all through the .gov website.
Yeah.
So. Good deal. Well, the other big event that we want to let folks know about is every year the United States of America has National Night Out, and communities across the country all celebrate by having usually some kind of event where they invite the kids out and they get to come out and have fun and snacks and games, and usually get to meet the police officers and firefighters, and they get to hang out on the trucks and the cars and wear the hats and blow the whistles and do all the fun stuff. But it's also a great time for the community and our law enforcement to kind of chat a little bit and say, hey, how can we make our community better? Hey, do you have a neighborhood watch? How do we start these things? Where's resources for my kids? It's a fun cookout night kind of thing,
right? But
it's really there to kind of be that connection between law enforcement and the community, and kind of making sure everyone's kind of on the same page.
Just mending that barrier, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I know it's been going on for years, but Roswell does it every year, and of course, National Night Out will take place again this year. What's the pertinent details for this one?
All right, so National Night Out will take place August 1st. It's going to be on Tuesday.
Okay, usually it is on a Tuesday if I remember right. It always seems to be on a Tuesday.
The first Tuesday of
August. Okay, very good.
And it's going to be at the Roswell Recreation and Aquatic Center, 1402 West College.
Okay.
From 5 to 8 p.m.
All right.
And that's a change this year. So in the past, it had been at the convention center.
Yeah, so usually it's been another, it was even in Target years ago and stuff, but yeah.
And so this year it's going to be at the Aquatic Center, and there's another addition. Do you want to tell them what?
Another layer.
Another layer.
So we've been so fortunate to have it hosted this year at the Recreation and Aquatic Center. And with that being said, we'll be having a free swim day.
Nice.
So the first 200 individuals that go to the facility will get in for free.
Nice.
Starting at 5 o'clock. So from 5 to 8 that night. And as they come in,
watch, that's going to be a day it's cold.
We need another cold day.
You watch, August 1st will be 70.
Let's hope not. We want them to be able to enjoy the pool for free that day.
Be like, we've been waiting for this day, and finally the day we're like, we kind of want to go swimming. It's like, no, I'm just
please
kidding.
enjoy the pool the next 4 days, because it's going to be over 100. And make sure you guys stay hydrated. That's the other thing. If you have elderly parents or even pets, please drink plenty of water. Sorry, side note. But tell them what else we're gonna.
Yes, what else
there.
we got planned on the swimming?
We'll be having Jolly Jumpers, as well as carnival games.
Games,
and we'll be giving out free backpacks while supplies last. Right now we have
because it always kind of lines up right around the beginning of school there. So
we'll have school supplies for the children.
First come, first served basis.
Yes, and then you would need to bring your children with you as well.
Yeah, for every backpack you need, you have to have a child to match it, basically. So.
Yes. And they're going to be showing demos, right? They're going to show their cars, like you said. They're going to have various booths set up for just different types of games. This night is a night about community.
Sure.
Right? So a lot of times, and kid, correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of times when they go into situations, it's not normally a positive one.
Mm-hmm.
And so for National Night Out, it's a night of positivity for our community where the kids and parents can come and talk to our officers in a positive type of environment.
Absolutely. And I'm sure, most of our parents are reinforcing that, law enforcement to their children are your friends, when something is wrong, those are people you go towards,
Right.
And so this is an event that cements that for families and things. And like you said, and I'm sure you see this every day out on patrol, that, there are days, you're coming in on a bad situation. People are scared, angry, their emotion level is not at their normal spot there. And so their interactions with law enforcement are always in that area instead of just, hey, what are you doing? Coming, it's not the fun part where you're just sitting there at an event. And that's where this part is. They get to kind of see the personalities behind the badges, so to speak.
And that's the best part about this event.
Seeing our officers as people, not as officers. And and you guys get to let your hair down a little bit and interact with the kids and things. So do you got now? Since it's a pool night and swimming, does the RPD have swim trunk uniforms?
Personally, I don't.
Like you have like a two-piece or one-piece with a badge on it, and you're swimming, or the guys have Speedos? What's the? Is there official swim trunk uniform?
There should be for this night, but I don't think you'll see many of the officers out swimming. We'll probably all still be in uniform.
Probably, yeah.
We're looking forward to having some of the fire.
Thing is, if they get in the pool, they'll sink because there's about 80 pounds of gear on each one of them.
Yes, yeah. And Neighborhood Watch will be out there, right?
Yes, Neighborhood Watch will be out there. So
if you want to learn
guys
about
have any
that,
questions about that, they'll be out there. We'll have a booth for that for any of the community members that have questions about their neighborhoods and want to.
And that's the cool thing about it is you really get the chance to just talk and like you said yourself and a lot of the other Roswell police officers will be there just to talk, just to say. And like you said, if you want to organize Neighborhood Watch or if you have one but it's kind of defunct and needs a little sprucing up or maybe one's going and you just want to kind of cement it. This was this event's for, is to kind of talk about that. And I've seen Neighborhood Watches. Everyone's a little different. Some get little very active and they'll have a monthly or quarterly meeting and they'll talk safety stuff. Some it's just just keep an eye out and walking, nothing formal per se set up. But either way, that's a good thing to have in your neighborhood. And the RPD loves to work hand in hand with, because to be honest, your neighborhood watch are the eyes and ears for law enforcement. I would imagine in neighborhoods, and I'm just spitballing, but I'm just going to take a stab here. I'm imagine neighborhoods that have neighborhood watches set up and things like that, you probably have better success as far as catching and arresting things that go on in those areas versus areas that don't, just because you've got the evidence, you got eyewitnesses, all the stuff you guys need to do your job. You're getting better tools because you've got people kind of looking out.
It creates better community communication. And so that's what we're striving for right now. And that's why I believe in this event so much and so strongly, is because it brings the community together for one night. And it allows them to open up to us and talk to us and ask us questions that they wouldn't normally be able to ask us, right? So, and
that's the fun part too. It's like, what's that thing do? It's like, well, this is my mace, or this is, what I mean? The kids and younger side, what's that button do? And they get in the car and they see you guys as humans.
Right, and it's for all ages.
Yeah.
So if I'm happy that we do this every year, and I strongly encourage anyone that is able to come out and be involved with this.
Yeah, National Night Out's a fun night. It's really that chance for especially families and stuff to see law enforcement and see, the human side, the real side. And it is so important because law enforcement can't do their job without the community support. That's just the plain truth. Without that support, that interaction of the community helping and sharing information, and vice versa, law enforcement doing the same with the community, that relationship has to happen. And events like this cement that thing. And so come out, come swim, come have fun, play games, maybe start your own neighborhood watch, get the kids out there just to come and meet some of the officers and play with the cars and do all the fun stuff and I'm sure the adults will let you push a button or two off. I know there's adults going, I know the kid wants to get out. I kind of want to go in there and blow the horn and all that stuff. You know what I mean? You know, that's what it's all about. And if you really are interested in starting a neighborhood watch or something, come out to the event. There'll be a wealth of information and wealth of resources for you to do that. And I think it's all of us just to be a little more mindful of your surroundings and things because law enforcement, whether it's the RPD or state police or county police or whoever, they can't solve a case without your information, your support, your eyes and ears, and that's how it happens. And so, you know, our little neighborhood that we have, and we have Sergeant Grace Frescus. You know, she does the neighborhood watch stuff, which I imagine you'll meet her on National Night Out, and but they do a lot of that stuff, and so it's really great to have that connection. I've seen it in person multiple times, and so come out to National Night Out here on the 1st and have fun.
Yeah, have fun.
But at the same time, learn some of this stuff.
So National Night Out is a community-sponsored event.
Okay.
And so we've been fortunate enough to have businesses within the community sponsor
Want to thank
the
them,
event,
yes.
right? And I really want to thank them. But as well as ask if you are interested in becoming a sponsor or contributing to this year's National Night Out, please call me, Officer Kidd.
Okay.
You could contact me at the police department, 575-624-6770 at any time. Leave me a voicemail or even contact me via email.
Yeah, if there's business out there want to support
Absolutely.
or you want to donate, like school supplies, things like that. Unfortunately, law enforcement doesn't have a big room just full of school supplies waiting around. They don't, not like the Scrooge McDuck vault where they keep a bunch of backpacks and things to swim in. So if you'd like to donate those items, please reach out to Officer Kidd here and make that happen because you're the reason these events happen. So if someone's out there saying, hey, I got some school supplies, or an organization, you know, or a business that wants to donate school supplies, give the RPD a call. Call Officer Kidd here. They'd love to have you. And do it pretty quick because August 1st is just a couple weeks, a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Next week, right?
Yeah, next week. So.
Yes, next Tuesday.
So, 1 week from tomorrow is National Night Out.
Yes.
So, but again, it'll be at the Recreation Aquatic Center. What time is everything getting underway again?
From 5 to 8.
5 to 8. So get there early, 5 o'clock with your swim trunks ready and coming out to have fun. And then while you're there, come and play the games and have fun. Meet some of our law enforcement and first responders and come out and just talk, chit chat, meet, ask questions, have fun. If you, who knows, maybe there's a few youngins that want a career in law enforcement. Maybe it's a good chance to talk to officers and see what the job's about and learn a little bit about what the day-to-day life of a police officer is like and things like that. So, good deal. What's the best way to get a hold of you? To just call the main number there? Or?
Yes, right now, call the main number. I don't have my work cell phone right now.
Okay.
It's MIA, so just call my work phone number, the work PD number, and that's the best way to get.
Don't do
911.
It's going to be 575-624-6770.
Yeah, call that and ask for Officer Kidd, and they'll transfer you right to her. Don't call 911 unless it's an emergency.
Please.
That's an
don't call
emergency.
911.
Yeah, this is not an emergency.
For this,
No matter how behind, even if we're that afternoon, do not call. But it's National Night Out. If you've never been to one, come on out, be a part of it. Like you said, we're going to be giving away school supplies while supplies last. So if you are in need of those, you might want to get there closer to 5 instead of closer to 8 because those are going to be first come, first serve. But come out to the Recreation Aquatic, especially if you've never been before. If you've never been to the Aquatic Center, shame on you because it's an amazing facility. And if so, make next Tuesday your first time out there and come out and ready to have fun. And hopefully while you're there, you want to sign up for volleyball or some of the other events, adults and things. You'll be amazed at how much.
Please come out and sign up.
Yeah, if you want to work out, you literally have whatever you want to do. If you're old school medicine balls and throwing ropes and looking like some guy from the 30s training for a fight. They got that stuff. You know what I mean? Like the Rocky kind of old school, the ropes and chasing chickens and all that stuff. They don't have chickens, but they got. But then if you want the more high-end ellipticals and the latest in the video workouts and all that, so they've got all of that. So whether you're old school or you're that guy that likes hooked up things and science the heck out of this thing, then they can do either way there. And I'm pretty sure I've never seen that many basketball courts in like one facility at one time than at the rec center. Every time I go there, I'm just like acres of basketball courts.
Yeah, it's really awesome. Really awesome.
It is. If you've never been there, come check it out. Make next Tuesday your first time out.
Yes, and parking will be on the west side, but the actual event for National Night Out will be on the south side parking lot area, and people will come into the pool area on the south side, on that south side gate, not through their normal regular entrance.
Okay, because
of
it's
the
a
rec
special
center.
event, we want to funnel everyone in and out
Yes.
the
Yes.
same area. So just follow the herd when you get there.
You'll see it. I'm sure there will be a lot of people, and we encourage you to come on out and get registered, and also get some great school supplies and talk with our officers.
Absolutely. So August 1st, 1 week from tomorrow, National Night Out, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Roswell Recreation Aquatic Center. Free event. Come bring the whole family. Come on out and have fun. Bring your swim trunks so you can go swimming and all that stuff. But change your clothes for you can sit down and eat and play games and stuff either afterwards or before and all that.
Absolutely.
And then don't forget, if it is now $1 permitting for renovations, yard, landscape, all that kind of stuff. Instead of basically paying $1,000 for the permit, it's like $1 for the permit.
For single residential construction projects. So plumbing, electrical, heating, all of those things. $1. Contact our code enforcement department, community development, and they will help you out.
Absolutely. And then don't forget, volleyball signups are also going on right now at the Aquatic Recreation and Aquatic Center. You got till about August 3rd to get signed up, and then the season will kick off like shortly thereafter. So, like
Immediately
August 4th.
after. Yes. Immediately after.
Good deal. And of course, if you have any questions about anything, when it comes to the Aquatic Center, recreation, all that stuff, RoswellConnect.com is your website. Anything city government related, the permitting stuff, meetings, talking to city councilors, all of that kind of thing, water bill, all of that, roswell-nm.gov. And then, of course, the Roswell Police Department has you can just Google RPD, and then the Roswell Police Department website comes up. I'm sure there's plenty of information about National Night Out. But if you're interested in a career with the Roswell Police Department, you can also find out at the city website, but also at the RPD website, too.
Yep.
Just curious, do you guys, I know it's not your part of the world here, but do you know, like, number-wise, if you guys are, how many officers you're short right now?
I'm actually the recruiting officer.
Okay, so it is your world. I'm sorry.
So right now we are looking to hire 9 more individuals for the department. We're down 9 people.
Okay.
And so we strive to continue to bring our numbers up.
Okay.
And we're lucky that the city has allotted us with 104 positions. And so once we get those 9 more positions in, then we'll be fully staffed.
And what I love about it is, it's when you go there and apply, it's not like they say, oh, you want to be a cop, and then they send you to the academy and go, they work with you.
Yes.
And so by the time you go to the academy, they're going to make sure that you know exactly what you're
as
completely
prepared as possible,
ready and prepared for that. So they help you if you're like, well, I'd love to be an officer, but I got to do some push-ups, or I gotta do some book learning.
They help.
They help with all that.
We're there to help you. We encourage people as much as possible, because it is a career that anyone can do, as long as you're wanting to do it.
Sure.
And if you have that want, then.
And that's the key, and I would argue, if you're, you got to have the ability to be patient with people and understand and reason. That skill will do you so well as a law enforcement. I mean, I'm not telling you know this better than I do, but because every day you're dealing with unpredictability and things like that, and you're dealing with people at their worst. So for your ability to be that calming type person, that asset will probably carry you very well in law enforcement.
Right,
So,
it really does. It really does.
Just to be that people person. I mean, yes, you know, I had the physical tools to be an officer, but you almost have to have a degree in psychology to really, to
understand people.
Yeah, because you're going to get more headway with that conversation than you will with the show of force sometimes.
And so it's nice right now. We have a police service aid program. We bring in people as young as 18.
So if you're not quite old enough to be an officer yet, but want to learn, and you can start off by being a service officer.
Yes. And so that's awesome and amazing, because they'll come in at 18 and not really understand the whole workforce of things, and then as well as law enforcement. And so it gets them that that entrance, that entry level
They get
into
to,
law enforcement.
yeah, they get to test it out to see if it's really for them before actually committing.
Sure. And not to mention,
So-
it really helps the officers, because sometimes there's, you got to go to an accident, a parking lot somewhere. And,
Right.
and it's like, well, my officers are a little busy doing another
Right.
thing, but we can send a service aide out, take information, and make sure everyone's copacetic there. And that's really what the role of the service officer is serving the need of the community, doing those things that maybe aren't needed a full trained police officer
Right,
on.
or
Someone who can
lower
take a report.
priority
Yeah,
calls.
lower priority calls, handling reports, filling out things.
Yes.
Obviously, service officers aren't going to shootouts and stuff.
No.
That's our. When they get to escalate to that level, then
Yes.
it's our law enforcement that's in there handling business.
Right.
But a service aid is really a great opportunity to get your foot in the door, to learn about what law enforcement is like. You interact and work with law enforcement on a daily basis, so it's kind of that. And then when you become 21, if you so desire, then you can full on pursue the path to a full-fledged police officer.
Yes.
But it's a great way to, and that's the cool part too. You get to learn the different sides of police and law enforcement. It's like, oh, I love, you go in as a service aide, and then you start learning about some of the different departments and what they do. And it's like, oh man, they got a mounted patrol. I love that. Or they've got the detective unit. That's what I want to do. I want to investigate cases. Or no, I love the canines and the dogs. I want to go in that route. There's so many different avenues, but you do have to remember, if you're a police officer in the Roswell Police Department, you're a police officer first. No matter if you're the SWAT guy, the dog guy, the training person, whatever it is. Your first job is to serve and protect, and they'll ingrain all that into you. But that's the cool part about it too. So I'm just curious, like, you're the training officer now, but like when you joined, was there always I always want to be SWAT? What was your?
When I joined, I joined just to join, for personal reasons as well. But I wanted to help the community, and that was my biggest drive.
Okay.
And then whenever this position opened up, I felt called to it. I seen that there was a need, and for me to be in this position has been amazing. I've been in this position for 3 years now.
Okay.
And to bring in people and see the officers grow from the time they start to graduating the academy and then being out on patrol by themselves is like an amazing feeling.
That's like your cool part. You love seeing the new people come in and see them mature and see the system work, basically.
Definitely, especially with law enforcement always evolving. It's cool to see like the influx of like the younger generation and older generation still wanting to do this career.
Sure, and they're both teaching each other.
Right.
That's the thing, is the older generation, they've got a lot of good things to teach the younger generation, but the younger generation has a lot of things to teach us. It's really a synergy there. It's because us older folks tend to don't understand or knew the new stuff, and vice
technology.
versa. Yeah, and really, but that's the thing,
It's the
though. It's
technology.
technology's that that's what's solving cases and things now,
Yes.
and so that's, to me, that's kind of a unique time in our world like that, where you have especially a few of our veterans that have been in there 20, 30 years, and everything was done with paper and pencil, and and they still remember that, and their brain's wired that way, and it's just that's cool. I like that. So anyway, visit the website if you're interested in applying. Come out to National Night Out. If you're interested in talking about recruitment, I'm sure there'll be some people you can talk to out at National Night Out about it. But mark it on your calendars. 1 week from tomorrow, August 1st, Tuesday, beginning at 5 p.m., lasts till about 8 at the Roswell Recreation and Aquatic Center. Free event. Bring the entire family. Come on out. Bring your swim trunks. Open swim. We'll go start right at 5 p.m. there. So, but if you don't feel like swimming, no biggie. There'll be plenty of other stuff to do too.
Yes.
But I've got a feeling if it's been like it's been
Please
for the last
let
month,
the weather still cooperate.
I got a feeling everyone's going to want to get in the pool.
Yes, and stay hydrated over the next few days because it's going to be really hot.
Plenty of water. Yeah, we'd hate to. I know our law enforcement will be keeping bottles in the trunk for people, but hopefully, you don't need it. So. Good deal. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
We'll see y'all next time. And anytime you need to come on for anything, let me know.
And now your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. Tragedy in Roswell as police continue the hunt for the person who struck a pedestrian on Monday at South Main and Burkett Road in Roswell. And that person then fled the scene, according to police. The 21-year-old pedestrian, a woman, died. Witnesses said they saw an orange sports car with black stripes, possibly a Chevy Camaro, speeding away. It may also have front-end damage. If you know anything, please call RPD, 575-624-6770. And an arrest Sunday in a murder case. A local woman charged with murder and other crimes after allegedly stabbing to death her girlfriend at the home they shared in West Roswell. 40-year-old Monica Ortiz is being held at the Chavez County Jail for charges of first-degree murder, armed robbery, and tampering with evidence. The charges, according to police, resulted from an investigation by RPD, Criminal Investigations Division, into the death of 33-year-old Patricia Molinar Franco early Sunday morning. You're up to date. I'm Jared Zorello reporting.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. No let up on the heat for the next few days. 105 to 108 for the high this afternoon. Wind will be a little bit gusty and we get sunshine. Overnight looks clear, low 70s and breezy, and then 104 to 106 for the afternoon high on Wednesday and sunny. We'll be staying in the low 100s through the upcoming weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. A potential UPS strike feels closer than ever. Negotiations broke down earlier this month, and unionized workers have been holding rallies and practice pickets across the country. The Teamsters, which represent more than half of the company's workforce, will resume talks with UPS on Tuesday. The American Airlines Pilot Union has indefinitely postponed the ratification vote for tentative contract agreement. American Airlines pilots were due to vote on Monday after the company on Friday raised the value of its contract offer to pilots by more than $1 billion. After 17 years with an iconic Bluebird logo, billionaire Elon Musk renamed Twitter as X. On Monday, a stylized white X on a black background became the new logo on Twitter's website. Oil prices climbed over 2% on tightening supply, rising U.S. gasoline demand, hopes for Chinese stimulus measures, and technical buying. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is a proud supporter of the Chavez County Fair. They salute the hardworking 4-H and FFA kids in our area, striving to be their best every day. As farmers and ranchers themselves, the crew at Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply knows the hard work that goes into making farming and agriculture what it is today. And from the Everyone's a Winner program to actually investing in these future farmers and ranchers during the Junior Livestock Sale, Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is proud to support the Chavez County Fair. Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, 1105 East 2nd.
The Calico Cow has moved to a new home. Visit the Calico Cow at their new home, 200 East College, behind Farley's in Roswell. Lots of exciting changes at the new Calico Cow. New LED lighting, an amazing large classroom, plus more space, which means lots of new items and an even bigger selection of fabrics. Come see it for yourself. Want to know how? Come see the cow. The Calico Cow's new home at 200 East College in Roswell.
They're watching you. They see your social media posts. They follow your family, your friends, and your interests online because they're planning on taking your money. All of it. They're con artists. They'll use your social information to build your trust and lure you into once-in-a-lifetime investments with promises of high guaranteed returns. But it can be avoided. The Securities Division of New Mexico's Regulation and Licensing Department can help. Learn to spot the red flags of investment scams at rld.nm.gov/red flags or call 505-476-4580.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. If you have only 11 cows, that's called a lot of cow pies. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. We're closing in on 9 o'clock. Town Hall News coming up here in just a few seconds. Stay tuned next hour here about 9:15 or so. Amy McVeigh-Tejas with the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico will join us, give us an update on what's going on there. Of course, we had our interview with Guy Penrod in the 7 o'clock hour, so we'll talk a little bit about that concert as well, too. So that's what we got on tap for next hour. We'll be back on the other side of news. You know, they're showing a thing on the news, on the Fox app about the SAG protests. And they got a big fist symbol. Looks like the Howard Stern logo. They might want to get with someone about that and change it. Just a thought. All right, you listen to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND. Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. There is a legal battle shaping up between the Biden administration and the Republican governor of Texas.
The Justice Department is suing Governor Greg Abbott over a floating barrier that the state placed on the Rio Grande to stop migrants from entering the U.S. The lawsuit asks a court to force Texas to remove the barrier, citing humanitarian and environmental concerns. Abbott sent President Biden a letter that defended his state's right to install the barrier and wrote, "Texas will see you in court, Mr. President." Greg Clugston, Washington.
The central figure in the Hunter Biden case expected to testify before the House Judiciary Committee. The Justice Department has cleared U.S. Attorney David Weiss to appear before the panel, and he may do so either in September or sometime in October. The Fed expected to raise interest rates again tomorrow, but some analysts are wondering if it will be the final increase in this fight against inflation.
There's new optimism that the Fed can pull off a so-called soft landing, curbing inflation without causing the deep recession that had been feared over the past year. Wednesday's expected increase would be the 11th, but economists at Goldman Sachs and Deutsche Bank are lowering their odds of it triggering a recession. Inflation numbers have been coming down, and consumers are seeing drops in prices for used cars, furniture, appliances, and clothing. I'm Jackie Quinn.
Consumer confidence, as measured by the Conference Board, has shot to the highest level in 2 years this month, as inflationary pressures continue to ease and the American economy continues showing resilience in the face of higher interest rates. Israeli doctors staging a nationwide walkout, protesting a judicial reform plan that limits the power of Israel's Supreme Court. On Wall Street, the Dow's up 11 points, the Nasdaq trading 51 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Fresh concerns about the safety of one of Europe's largest nuclear power plants, located right in the middle of the Ukraine war zone.
The UN's nuclear watchdog has said its staff at the Russian-occupied Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant have reported seeing anti-personnel mines around the site. International Atomic Energy Agency Director General Rafael Mariano Grossi said the mines flouted IAEA safety standards. Grossi added that the presence of mines located between the site's internal and external perimeter barriers increased psychological pressure on plant staff. Nevertheless, Grossi confirmed that if any of the mines exploded, it should not affect the site's nuclear safety and security systems. I'm Karen Chamas.
China's communist ruler sending a mid-level official to North Korea, the visit in hopes of restoring exchanges between the two allies. News and analysis at townhall.com. Questions persist after a woman's dramatic abduction hoax was exposed.
Authorities in Alabama say that a woman has confessed to fabricating a sting and apologized to everyone who tried to help, asking for forgiveness and prayers. The revelation comes 5 days after police cast doubt on Russell's story. Russell told an elaborate tale of her abduction and escape, but video and cell phone data did not match her version of events. It's possible that Russell could face charges. Police say they are still trying to determine where she was in those 2 days she was gone. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
One of California's oldest newspapers, the Santa Barbara News Press, has ceased publication, its owner declaring the 150-year-old newspaper bankrupt. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3 of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, hiccup free. Yeah, right at the last few seconds there, I was talking before the hour, and then I started getting hiccups, so I was getting really... As soon as we got off air, Roy goes, "You okay?"
I heard that. Roy's like, "You good, man?"
Yeah. Like, I just got literally in the middle of a sentence. I just got hit with a bout of hiccups. So I was like,
Stinks when that happens on the air.
Now.
I noticed a lot of McDonald's Fridays at around the 8 o'clock hour. We tend to get a
little burpy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm notoriously bad at taking a drink of water or something before I get on air. And a lot of times that, you swallow it, like, air pocket, just whatever. And then you're like trying to talk and right when you're doing weather or something, that's when it kicks in.
Hashtag DJ problems.
That's right. But happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yes.
Hope your Tuesday is going very well.
Indeed.
It's already picking up hotness out there.
Already getting a little warmer. Yeah.
So if you're going out to the fair, either fair, Chaves County Fair, or you're making out to Eddy County Fair today, lots of hydration.
I'm pretty sure that not since the ancient Greeks or anybody who's used sundials has anybody been so concerned over how much shade is on one side of a building or the other since me, because all weekend I was like, okay, I have enough shade on this side of the place, I can do this, and then I had to wait until high noon was done at like 1 or 2 I could resume work on the other side of the place because I had a little shade pocket.
Yeah, all of a sudden everyone cares about east and west.
Right.
All right. Okay, well, I'm on north. When's the best time to get some east-west shade here?
I've been watching, like, where's the sun in relation to where I'm going to park my car?
Yeah, but this is something I'm still glorious about here. Because if you do any of that back where I'm from, it don't matter worth a hill of beans.
Oh, I know.
Because it's so humid.
It's the
in
wetness,
the sun, in the shade, you're just as miserable. It really is. I'll never forget, we were at the Vans Warped Tour concert, and it was all outdoors, and it was so hot, and I was just, after hour number 6 or 7 of that, you're kind of like, what I mean?
You're done.
Pretty gamey and pretty, I remember just finding the tree, and then I'm like, oh, this can be great. And I sit there, and it's like for 15 minutes, I'm like, I am not cooling off.
This is not helping at all.
Not helping at all. Nope. I'm just sweating even more.
Yeah, now I will say that, yes, it is a dry heat. But that being said, when it's 106 degrees and that dry heat is hitting you in the face, it's still...
Oh, yeah, it's
sucks.
not pleasant. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, this is delightful. But I've seen worse, and I do not. I will take this over that.
Oh, yeah.
But I wish we could work in the green without the humidity. Like, it'd be nice to have some green trees and things around.
Yeah,
I miss those.
I would argue that southeastern New Mexico, of New Mexico's areas, has more of that.
Yeah, but this ain't like back east.
Sure.
I forget every time how green it is back there till I go back, and then I land and I'm like,
it's the same with Oklahoma, dude. It's a land of like a forest land.
Yeah, and even when it's like drought conditions, it's way greener than anything here. You know what I mean? It's just growing up, relatively water adjacent. You kind of, it's different when you go like all day rains and stuff. I still love those when they happen because we don't have them out here very often.
No, I'm trying to remember the last prolonged rainstorm where it was like an all-day thing. And I want to say we've had like one of those this year.
Yeah. But here's the weird part. When I go back to Maryland and I run into one of those, like during the summer, it's an all-day rain, bummed about it. I'm like, it's like, dude, I mean, I don't mind the storm.
One day I can,
yeah. It's kind of,
I would argue it's kind of like going to Seattle on the one sunny day of the year.
Yeah.
It's like you went to Seattle expecting some rain and you show up and it's just sunny all day. Dadgummit. Well, Seattle, make with the sky water.
Hey, I was playing Madden football on my computer because I do that from time to time.
Sure.
And so I was playing with Seattle, and I played for a season, and I'm sure it's all computer, generated and stuff.
Based on stats and whatnot.
But I swear, I played 8 games in that Seattle stadium. 6 of them it was raining the whole time in that game. I was like, can we have at least one game without rain here at home, please?
And they were, statistically speaking, that makes a lot of sense.
A lot of highlights in the rain here. I want some sunny day.
They got to get used to playing with slick balls.
That's right. But I was like, all right, give me one sunny day. I know it rains on Seattle, but come on. It's a fake world. We can make it a little sunny. I know I can change the weather conditions and the settings. I choose not to.
Right. It's a simulated world, Michael. You're just dancing along in it.
But I'm so good at quarterback. Speaking of football, you're gonna hear a lot of this because I'm excited and I'm sorry
because I have access to a microphone.
You don't know. So I told Sean yesterday, but so last Thursday was when the sale of the Commanders went official to the Harris Group, and as of Monday morning, so from Thursday afternoon to Monday morning, the Washington Commanders sold more tickets for this upcoming season than they sold in the entirety of last season.
Nice.
Of all the games that played and happened last season, they sold more tickets in those 5 days.
You know what that was? That was a relief exhale. They were like, shut up and take my money.
Yeah. Well, and I wish I could get you guys to understand what Dan Snyder did to that team. When I was a child, in 82, 83, in the highlight with Gibbs winning Super Bowls and all of that stuff, the first sets of Super Bowls.
Right.
Because he's won several. Yeah, that was a shot. But the culture was just different. It was like you go to a game and every game was packed. Now, people always say, well, RFK is only 50. Yeah, it was a small stadium. But I will tell you, it was the loudest stadium in the NFL. And I know the 12th man in Seattle and Lambeau and they great fan bases. Washington's was at or exceeded that at that day. In that day, the fans, Washington, D.C. is kind of a hodgepodge city anyway, where you have a lot of out-of-towners, a lot of people that aren't
it's
from there.
It's a commuter city.
Yeah. And it's weird, too, politically. Like, you think it's a politically charged town, but this is the point that I kind of make sometimes that maybe, folks out here don't always see. Back in D.C., a lot of it's the game. Like, they're Democrats, they're Republicans, and they'll argue and get blue in the face, but then they go have a beer and go hang out at the racquetball court together. Right. That's D.C. It's very weird like that. Well, they'll go tooth and nail and then go, it's just because of the environment that city is. So for it to have a fan base that was so rabid, where there's not as many locals in this city as there is in, say, New York City or Dallas or any other
also
place.
the Redskins kind of represented D.C., but also Maryland and the whole area.
So. And here's another thought in there, too. Redskins had a bigger fan base because at that time, there was no Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers did not exist in the NFL. So the fan base actually stretched down into the Carolinas. We got till about midway through the Carolinas when then the Falcons fans would pick up there. But Washington kind of owned the gamut from Maryland down to North Carolina as far as the fan base went. So that cut into a little bit.
And you also got on the wagon, got on board at a time when they were, like you said, winning Super Bowls, bringing home championships. They were
it was because the 70s they stunk. They did go to the Super Bowl, the Miami Dolphins' perfect year, and lost. Right. That was their one Super Bowl appearance prior to Joe Gibbs showing up in 81 whenever he showed up. And then he went 8-8 his first year and then won the Super Bowl the next year. Lost the Super Bowl the year after that. Then a couple years later, win again. A couple more years later, won again. He has 3 altogether with 3 different quarterbacks. He's the only NFL coach to win 3 Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks.
Wow.
Yeah. Take that, Belichick.
That's a heck of a stat.
And none of them were Tom Brady.
Right.
One was Mark Rippon, which he's a god to me, but let's face it, in the scheme of quarterbacks in the annals of history, he ain't Tom Brady. We had Doug Williams, who actually only played the playoffs. He was hurt. Jay Schrader played most of that year.
Oh, really?
And then, of course, we had Dreamy Joe in the first one, and he was a French.
Dreamy Joe.
Joe Theismann. Changed his name because it was Theismann, but around the Heisman campaign, he changed Theismann to Theismann.
Nice.
It's been Theismann ever since.
Well played, sir. Well played.
He's still a part of the D.C. area in the Redskins / Commanders organization. Like, he announces games because he did Monday Night Football. Joe Theismann was there in the 90s, I want to say. Theismann did a couple seasons of Monday Night Football before they fired him. And then, like many did after after the Frank Gifford and when it was the core there for a while.
But the point is that they take that storied franchise that was running the game
I got
for
way
so
off track.
long.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. It was running the game for so long, and then Snyder took that jewel and tarnished it.
Yeah, and that ownership whole changeover was controversial to begin with because at the time Jack Kent Cooke owned the Washington Redskins. He died.
His name is an answer to a question.
And a matter of fact, he died. Yeah, he died right when the current FedEx Field. That was called Jack Kent Cooke Stadium. That was his baby, but he died like a year before it finished or something like that. So the stadium opened as Jack Kent Cooke Stadium. But he did something weird in his will where he didn't bequeath the team to his kid or anything like that, and so he basically put it up for auction. And his own son, John Cooke. I don't think he's Kent Cooke. I think he's just John Cooke. He lost to Dan Snyder in the bidding, and Dan ended up with the team, and he was a guy made money off malls. I think that's where he got his billions. And of course, he has Six Flags and many other ventures, but I think malls is where he got his money.
Right.
And then he bought the team, and it was a lot. And then over the 25 years, he's doing stuff like suing season ticket fans, lying about. Basically, there was a 20-year waiting list for tickets at one time. He milked that and destroyed that to nothing in the first 5 years of his ownership. And then it was just a legacy of stuff that he did, suing, denying old woman, bequeathing. I mean, just the legends of things he's done. And then, of course, the sexual harassment and all of that, to where this franchise went to a very proud, storied franchise where people looked at with awe and were like, this is to this, wow, what a cesspool.
Now, but doesn't part of you still kind of feel like, he got away with it?
He did. You absolutely. His name is Mud, and
but does it matter when you have billions of dollars?
Exactly. He's going to be off on his island in Europe, or wherever he's at, and I think he sent out a letter that really just did not fly flat with the
lonely,
public.
sad old man.
Just saying, thank you. It was an honor to be. We're now going to focus because his wife is a breast cancer survivor. So Tanya Snyder, his wife, who's actually a lot nicer than he is.
Right. I would hope.
That's why the matter of fact, all the pink you see in October, Tanya Snyder was one of the big driving forces behind. it. That was one of her passions, and she was big behind that. So when you see all the pink in October, Tanya Snyder was one of the
So she worked with like the Susan G. Komen.
Yeah. She's the one who kind of brought it to the NFL and made it all over the place to the NFL and stuff like that. Her and others, but she was one of the predominant pushers for that. But so she's going to continue her work with breast cancer, and while they live in their private island in Europe or wherever they're doing there.
Right.
So
they just bought the infamous island.
Well, and here's the thing, and this is the stuff that I'm talking about. Like, so today, all over Twitter is they put bleachers out at training camp. That's the one thing they did. No big deal, right?
Right. The thing.
To them, wow, we finally have a place to sit. We're in training camp. They never put places for us to sit out here. This is vintage Dan Snyder. He would do little things to tweak you, like not put bleachers in because the media's mean to him.
See, I didn't think about it from that perspective, but wow.
He does stuff like that.
That's real dictator style.
He does. That was his. He's got a 25-year history of those little
petty. It's super petty.
Yeah, almost passive aggressive move to fleet his anger.
Did you see that? This is kind of off topic, but did you see the story? Speaking of super passive aggressive and petty, did you see that the one of the studios that had the striking employees in front of it, they trimmed their trees back of all foliage.
Oh, really?
They completely shaved them bare. They're just like sticks now because those trees were there to provide shade, for the walk up. There's not very many trees in the LA area that are palms, But the studio planted these trees many years ago to provide shade, and they trimmed them back. So they got all kinds of blowback from arborists who said it's a horrible time to trim trees. Everybody's basically lambasting the studio for doing this and saying this is a real petty move because you got rid of shade, so it'd be more miserable for the strikers.
Yeah, well, it's the move.
That's petty.
Yeah.
That's super petty.
That's 25 years of Washington. That's exactly what Washington's been doing for 25 years.
Stay petty.
That's why everyone's so like what. And so when a guy comes in and he's like, "We are you're our customers. We can't wait." Like they're treating like, "Hey, we need to respect you."
Now, in fairness, so far they've treated us like somebody they're trying to pick up at a bar.
You're right.
They came in and bought us a drink.
You're right. But here's why it feels different. Because he's got a history of doing the same thing in other cultures. The 76ers and various other friends. And then the fact that Magic Johnson's on board, it does lend a lot of
legitimacy,
excitement, and to this.
Sure.
And the fact that Josh Harris and Rails, it's a whole big group, but two of them. Harris is the main owner. Rails is probably number 2, but they're like boyhood friends. They've been Redskin fans since children. They grew up in Maryland, and so they got that same local thing, but not the evil local like Dan Snyder had. So they got that part, and like this stuff don't matter to y'all, but like to fans. Like one of the first things they did was they reached out to Darryl Green and talked to him, and Darryl Green is a legend in the DC area. Joe Gibbs, John Riggins, Darryl Green, Joe Theismann. These are people that are gods in DC.
Sure.
Roger Staubach's of DC, basically, and so. To get Darryl Green, he was always one of the guys. He was never said bad about the organization, but kind of always kept
his mouth shut.
Yes,
didn't say one way or the other.
And the first thing he did was call and talk to the owner and just talk to him. And Darryl Green came out and said, "That's a first." So there's a lot of indicators that are saying this is different than what we've been experiencing for 25 years. And you've hit a fan base that has been so thirsty for this, so thirsty, because they've seen the best in the world. And now you have generations that only hear about it from their grandparents.
Right.
They don't know it. And now for the first time in their lives, they're
their
like,
chance to build a new legacy.
Dang, this might be what they're talking about. This one might be to be a fan of a football team in this town. To me, that's exciting.
I can relate, and I'm not going to bore the fans anymore, but I can relate because I have a side-by-side, story of like someone doing something that others have tried, but they're doing it differently, and it's working, and seeing it succeed from the ground up, and it's an amazing feeling as a fan to watch something that you are passionate about actually work.
And that's what I think a lot of Washington fans are feeling right now. I mean, there's a whole big back and forth because they kind of left it open about name changes, so everyone's now arguing about name changes because they love doing that.
Sure.
And but I don't care. I could care less about the name. It don't matter. I just want an organization. You can call them the Cream Puff
Washington
Spider Monkeys.
Silly Nannies.
Yeah, Cream Puff Spider Monkeys. I don't care. I just want a team that isn't embarrassing on the field, that isn't embarrassing in the headlines every day. Let's get there. Then we'll worry about the other stuff. Let's just get to it. We're not the laughing stock of the NFL anymore. Let's get there. And then we'll talk about Super Bowls and what do we call ourselves.
Right. Baby steps.
Amy McVeigh-Tejas is patiently waiting in the other room to join us here from the Historical Society for Southeast of Mexico. Sean has got 1/3 of his beverage left, so we're going to let him go drink that. Tackling few. And we're going to take you to the Weather Center for a weather update.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. No let up on the heat for the next few days. 105 to 108 for the high this afternoon. Wind will be a little bit gusty and we get sunshine. Overnight looks clear, low 70s and breezy, and then 104 to 106 for the afternoon high on Wednesday and sunny. We'll be staying in the low 100s through the upcoming weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 89 degrees. At least we're not 90 yet here in Roswell. Humidity's at 20%. Winds out of the south at 12 miles per hour. Heat advisory, that's going to kick in at noon. That's going to remain in effect through 8 p.m. this evening. 107 our high today under sunny skies. Winds out of the south 10 to 20. Clear tonight. Overnight low of 73 degrees with south winds 15 to 20, and then dropping down 10 to 15 after midnight. Sunny and 106 for your Wednesday with south winds 5 to 15. Tomorrow night, clear with an overnight low of 73. South winds 15 to 20. Again, dropping down 10 to 15 or 5 to 10 after midnight. Thursday, sunny and 103. South winds 5 to 10 in the morning, 15 to 20 for the afternoon. So it looks like we're going to have a little blow dryer, like hair salon blow dryer situation going on for the afternoon next couple days. Friday, sunny and hot with a high of 103. And then they keep teasing us on the weekends. Back down to 99 again on Saturday and 99 on Sunday. And then they've thrown a 20% chance of rain for Monday afternoon with a high of 101. We'll see how that shapes up. All right, it is 9:25. We're going to take a quick 3-minute commercial break, and then Amy McVeigh-Tejas with the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico will join us on the other side. Don't go away.
Hi, I'm Dr. Keon at Carabelli Dental. Same-day smiles are what we do. My passion is helping patients chew, talk, and live with confidence. That's why I'm one of the few doctors in the U.S. who can create beautiful same-day smiles with the latest digital implant technology. This procedure is life-changing. Just ask Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean. I've been that voice that you've heard on the radio for most of my life, but I'm also a dad to 2 amazing kids. I've had a million reasons to smile, but in all my old pictures, I was never smiling. Truth is that life of improper care and being dealt a bad hand genetically left me practically with no teeth. It affected everything from the way I ate, the way I talked, and of course how I interacted with people. And that's where Dr. Keon and Carabelli stepped in. They eased my fears. They explained every step of the process in a way that I could understand, and they made me feel almost like I was part of the team. And now I can't stop smiling. I have so much more confidence, and I love looking in the mirror now. I can't explain how much of a difference Dr. Keon's dental implant process made for me.
Our team can help you find your smile too. Come see us at Carabelli Dental, 575-622-4455.
Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency. Auto and home, life and health, personal and commercial. Bonds too, since 1925. We have the coverage for you. Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency.
Most of the problems that people have with plants comes down to basic farm management. That means knowing what to plant and when to plant it. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Planting at the wrong time usually leads to disappointment and heartache, sort of like your first love. But planting at the right moment puts Mother Nature on your side, and that makes growing things easier and a whole lot more fun. So before you plant anything, come to see us at Roswell Seed, or just give it a try and hope for the best. It gives me a chance to say, I told you so.
The Rehabilitation Center at Artesia General Hospital offers a variety of services led by experienced licensed therapists, including physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy. Their multidisciplinary team provides a complete evaluation with the full support of your primary care provider to develop a custom plan to support your personal goals and recovery needs. These treatment plans help manage symptoms, educate patients and their families, and ultimately get back to the activities that bring you joy. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/rehab.
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans and options to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second download and upload speed. With Faster, get true 500 megs of download and upload speeds. And with Fastest, you get 1 gig. Learn more at plateautel.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true, trusted.
If you plug your nose, you can't tell the difference between an apple, potato, and an onion. Unless you open your eyes. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 29 minutes after 9 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico, Amy McVeigh-Tejas. She's a live version now. At 7 o'clock, we caught a recorded version with Guy Penrod, but this is live and in studio. Amy McVeigh-Tejas. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Good.
Good deal. Well, I know there actually is a lot more going on than the Guy Penrod concert with the Historical Society.
There really is.
That's our big event, which is coming up here August 31st. We got just about a month away. Golden Circle tickets, as you heard in our interview earlier, are sold out. We do have some general admission seating left.
We do.
But do not delay. Get online, get your tickets now. You can do it a couple different ways. Go right to Grace Community Church, get a ticket. They got them there at the church. You can reach out to Amy through.
You can call the office at 622-8333. You can even email me at historydirector@outlook.com.
Yeah.
You can go to roswellmhistory.org, or you can even text me directly at 575-915-4471 for specific information. One thing I will mention, we got a couple of sponsorships yesterday. You know who you are. Your blessing. I'm not going to say your name on the radio because I respect the privacy.
A lot of these folks that do this kind of stuff don't want the recognition. They really,
It's
we
not about
want to
that.
brag on them so bad. Trust me, because these are the people that make this community go. They really do. But a lot of these folks are just saying, no, I'm doing this because I want to do. It's not about me. It's not about this. I don't really even want people to know I'm doing it. I just want to do it, and we respect that. But we would love to brag on it.
That's right. One thing I will brag on, Gary, if you're listening, Gary gave a generous donation in celebration and honor of his lovely wife, Kathy. And they had some intentions there.
Okay.
So the donation was made that if individuals have been impacted by Alzheimer's, or any or dementia, or any type of unique situation, we want to bless families or individuals that have been impacted in that manner. They weren't intentional in that effort, and I love it. Because God laid that on their heart, and you know me, if we're given orders, we're going to abide by those orders.
Sure.
So if you have special circumstances in your life,
I love that.
Or have been impacted in a unique way, and you called and said, we're having a hard time, these or other circumstances, it would bless us to have 8 tickets for our family. We're all in.
Awesome.
And we respect discretion.
Absolutely.
We do.
I would like to invite. Yes. Awesome. Thank you very much. It's a great thing. I hope you're also hitting up the Alzheimer's Association and talking to them.
Well, and I left a couple of messages, and
yeah.
I need to do more of that. I have not spoken specifically,
Yeah.
and so we'll connect too.
Because they can do a lot
100%.
more with your money too to help those
Absolutely.
families and things.
You better
We're going to
believe
do
it.
our thing and help.
Yep.
But they reach out to people directly impacted by this stuff, and so they probably got a better list
So I
of
know
who
I
could
was
use
given
help
a
than I do.
number, and if those are listening that are part of that organization through our amazing local treasures,
Absolutely.
give us a call 622-8333 and we'll connect. That's what this
I know
event
someone
is
over
all
there.
about.
We can
so
connect.
we'll connect
so,
and that.
Yeah.
But on a bigger spectrum, we can't not thank all the sponsors, whoever
Absolutely.
they are, silent or as we've mentioned. I will say, we had specifically held out some sponsor wonderful seating because they deserve it, and we could not do this without them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're listening and would like to become a sponsor, we will bless you forward with some sponsor tickets, that second and third row, and we do have a couple left.
Good.
So
But not
I
many.
would say nothing would bless us more than for somebody to become a sponsor and then pay it forward to a special someone that deserves the primo tickets. That's golden. That's
Absolutely.
golden. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely. And just so you know, this concert, we do it because we love Guy Penrod, and we love his message, and we love his music, and we love everything about, and he's local, so it's an added bonus and all that. And he's a New Mexico native, and all of that is a bonus, and and that's so we love bringing that. But this is a fundraising event for the Historical Society. The money that we're raising from this event, that goes to make sure that J.P. White House is maintained and taken care of. That goes to make sure that the archives facility is maintained and that we're able to maintain what's inside the archives facility. It also goes towards community outreach, education, things like your 4th grade school tours,
some history clubs, some new history clubs.
Yeah, your history clubs, sharing and exposing Southeast New Mexico history to its residents, preserving the history. That archives facility, I know I touched on before, but think of it as the Smithsonian for Southeast New Mexico. The Smithsonian does a great job at keeping our national treasures and keeping things that are historical there. Even just the study of us as human beings and photos and things. Not all about airplanes and rocket ships and typewriters and famous desks and all that stuff. It's the documents, the photos, the stories of the people.
The annuals going back to the early 1900s, all these city directories, all those good things.
Yeah, and that's what the Historical Society, if you want to know what life was like in Southeast New Mexico in the 1920s, go down to the Historical Society. We can got all kinds of photos and stories and everything. You want to know what it was like when Chisholm was running around here doing his thing? Then come to the Historical Society.
And Guy cares about our history too. And somebody said that, and I thank you for mentioning that, Mike. Guy Penrod and his family is part of our history, so that is a logical connection. Regarding history, I was Googling and doing some YouTubing last night. If you want some great videos, go onto YouTube looking at Guy Penrod at the White House. Oh, there's some golden videos of them during the Easter vigils and singing right in front of the bushes.
Okay.
Some great videos.
Was he there for like Easter egg rolls and all that stuff?
That's right, for many years, and some special ceremonies.
Okay.
Numerous, that Easter vigil, numerous times. There's some great videos once you start digging into his connections and who he really is and how he became.
He is a big deal.
Even going
That's the other
back
part.
years and years ago to Operaland, years ago, on Music City Tonight and those things. That's the classic videos. And I was so deep, I don't know how I got there. You know how...
Well, and that's what, like we were
good.
But we were joking like in the interview at the beginning where I said legendary, and he's like, "Well, I'm not that old," and it's like, but at the same time, he's a legacy.
He's
only 60. He's not that old.
He is legendary.
But when it comes to the gospel music and what he has brought to the people through that, without. Like, he's part of the evolution of the music.
He's country at heart, though.
Like,
He's
wherever they're
country
doing
at
a gospel today, I feel like guys like him are the reason why you're doing it. You know what I mean?
But, like, connections, whether it's to Reba and the Judds and Vince Gill and all, he's hung with the best of them. He has sang with the best of them. And he's where he wants to be, and he will be probably till Jesus comes or to the end. But it's some good stuff. If you do nothing but just make those wonderful connections, I think that's special. I don't think.
I would even argue, like he's. I mean, like you know what Elvis did with rock and roll and how infusing gospel and country and all the roots of where he's from into rock and roll. I think guys to a lesser scale the same way, where he infused
salt of the earth
the gospel and country and cowboy western and kind of seeing. Okay, they're different genres of music, but here's how they're the same, and here's how we can incorporate gospel into country and or cowboy music into gospel.
He has authentically stayed true to himself, who he is and where he's from. But he has, I'm really, really excited. We get so busy with these events, and Mike, you know this is truth. I get so busy. I have to sit back, smell the roses, connect these dots, and realize how blessed we are that he's coming. But the thing that we've said, I wonder how many times we've said this on the air, Mike, is this procrastination deal. And I do not want you, and I hope our husband's listening. I don't want to get mean eyes when we're sold out. I don't want to get it.
Sure.
Now,
you had your chance.
You've had your chance. It is what it is. Special favors.
I cannot make the building bigger.
And you know
I cannot add more seats to the church.
I hope Amy Mundy's listening because I've been getting texts. And you know what? I am. You know me, Mike. I'm true to blue. I love a lot of people, and a lot of people love Guy. But there's no favors. There's no unique connections on this deal.
Yeah.
Now, if you can't attend and you want to pay for your ticket, I'm all in for that kind of thing.
Sure.
But the favors are done, and I'm equal, and I'm true.
Yeah.
And we have, and you know this is, Mike. We haven't given blessings to like the Historical Society.
No.
We're rich and true in making these connections. So please bless yourself to buy the tickets. If you can't go, play them forward, and let's fill it up. We are not sold out, but I know everybody's waiting till the last minute, but it's going to hit. It's going to hit hard, and don't call me for special favors. They're just not there. They're gone.
That's right. We're out. We've done all we've given, and you mentioned talking about blessings on the historical side. They're the board in general. I can testify as a member of it. They're a very generous group and give you like Jane Eglin, who technically is not on the board anymore, technically, but she might as well
an amazing volunteer. She's the VIP volunteer.
She's turned out, but she's very much a part of the decision making.
Well, there's the whole she feels it or whatever, that she's that one.
And people like her constantly just buying tickets, extra tickets.
Oh, yeah.
Buying, like we were doing Leadership Roswell. She's bidding on her own thing, basically.
That's true. That is true.
Because she wants to make sure people can go and do this stuff. So yes.
And Matt and Carol, I'm going to give a shout out to Matt and Carol. At the end of the day, Matt's going to bring a smile, and they're a blessing, and they continue to bless.
Yeah.
Shout out to Matt and Carol Cunningham. We love them. We thank them. They're and
Yes.
she's probably, if she's listening, she's probably rolling her eyes because those are the people that don't want us to say their name on the radio. But they're
these
not.
people-
it's not just about us because these people
do
we're
so
talking
much.
about
Yes.
are blessing
Yeah.
not just our organization,
Yeah.
many others.
Like people come up and thank me, and I'm like, look, dude, I'm just a guy on the radio that talks. There's so many people that do way more.
That's right.
I'm
It's
just
true.
the lightning rod.
It's
That's
true.
really what it is, and a lot of stuff. And yes, I'm very appreciative, very thankful, and I do what I can with what I'm good at, and there's things I'm not good at.
That's
and I try
right.
to stay way clear of that. But there are people that devote their time and energy for one reason only, because they have a passion for it, and they love this community, and they love what this is about. And trust me, you know, when you get in a small community and people and dealing, especially when you deal with people over a long period of time, personalities clash,
That's right.
things go back and forth, you know, tempers flare, and and you want to throw up your hands days and stuff. But these people, despite all of that, are still day in and day out saying, no, I want to do what's best for what we're trying to do here. And
I will attest, we do our very best, as did the legacies.
Yes.
The Elvises, and whether the Morgan Nelson or Mary Lou Glass, we do our very best to rise above all capital.
They are our example.
Circumstances to work together for the
Yeah.
good. There's nothing, in my opinion, if you're listening, there's nothing we can't rise above to work together. We've come too far. We're doing too good. We have a lot of momentum. Do we have a lot of work to do? You better dadgum believe we do. But we're ready. We're ready to do it. While I'm thinking about it, we have not filled up our blood drive, and Vitalant is on me.
When's the date on that one for everyone to remind them?
Oh, and it's a couple
It's
of
in
weeks
August
from now.
here. It's in August. Yeah.
August.
And I
I'm
just
looking
printed
up
off the thing and left it in the printer.
Well, that's okay. August the 8th. So,
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen, I think we're about half full.
That's my dad's birthday.
We always max out on the blood drives. If you come to our blood drives, and thank you,
That's
Jason.
Amy's fault, by the way.
And thank you, Jason.
Jason hook up?
Jason's given us some hookups, and then Miss Margaret is going to give us some hookups. We're going to have some homemade hookups.
Oh, well, thank
and
you, thank
some
you.
good electronic connection
Oh,
hookups.
nice.
So,
and that
we're
reminds
enticing.
me, I need to thank Jason for his muscle use on Friday. He helped us out quite a bit.
Oh, good
Gene
job,
and I
Jason.
moving. So
Good
big
job.
thank you
Way to go,
for not only is he giving man, but he has good muscles that
There
are
you
good at moving big, heavy tables. So
Get her
thank you.
done. That good old military mentality. We're going to get it done. So our blood drive is August the 8th. If you text me, I can even book for you, and you wouldn't have to do anything else but text me. So text me at 575-915-4471. Let's get that blood drive filled up because we're saving lives together. Amen.
It is Amy's fault that those always fill up, and that's a good thing. But Amy, not trying to besmirch all the other great people that have Vitalant come out to their facilities and do blood drives. You all do amazing things, and it's awesome. But Amy is kind of like over the top with this stuff. She's like, you show up and she's just giving you stuff. Here, you want some food? Here, you want some of the, whatever.
I love that.
Whatever it is at that time, and you do it just because you're very appreciative of the people that
I do.
that come.
I'm appreciative, but that's legacy of my grandmother. My grandmother's name was Ada Mashaw. That's a unique name. And she always believed if you came and you did something for me, I want you to leave with your hands full of blessings.
Yeah.
And you're right. I am appreciative. We're saving lives. So
You know what?
You always
as soon
get
as you
those
say that, it
blessings.
makes it all clicked. Your grandma's house. You go to grandma, and you can't leave grandma's house without eating 20 things or
and
doing
have
20.
a bag, have one of those bags. Here, honey, take this.
Oh, you look
yes.
starved. Take
That's
this.
The good stuff.
I'm good. I
Yes.
really don't need anything. Yes, I get
yes.
it. All
And
clicked
just-
when you said
and then,
that.
And that's the thing. We want people to feel like they're at home. If you need something or whatever, we just want the comforts of the society for you to feel at home, especially if you're helping us. We want to help you, and that's part of it. So I'm just going through a couple of things because it isn't all about Guy, but it isn't.
He's a big guy, but not all about
he's a big guy. Then in September, we're really excited working on that Museum Day event. I don't think we've been specific. That's the good stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Please mark your calendars tonight. People, dadgummit, don't say you're too busy for this. This is the first time in 10 years that I've worked together with all the museums, and it's all about all of us.
This is a strength in numbers thing.
It really is.
We always say, I say it every day on this radio, how many amazing things and how much the amenities and facilities and
Yes.
things that we have in the city of Roswell.
Yes.
We are fortunate. Most cities of this size do not have the things that Roswell has.
Because I think we're at 7, 8 locations, including McBride,
Yeah.
including Walker. So Museum Day, September the 16th, 10 to 5. We will have our passport programs. Again, have blessings.
Mhm.
So if you get all your passports
does behoove you
stamped,
to get the
you're going to get
passport,
some
yeah.
great blessings or have some opportunities. So we're really excited about that in September. Then going to October, Mike, we have something. Oh my goodness, we're going to have to get some rest over the holidays. We're really, really excited. Mark your calendars. Mark your calendars.
Mhm.
Put it in your phone. Don't tell me, oh, I forgot.
Nope.
Put it in your calendars right now. October the 14th is the day that books and flowers come together. Yay! Farmhouse Roots will be at the archives along with some one-time ever you will never see books like this.
Okay.
We're working
So
on
if you're
that.
a collector or you're really in it, this is your
And
Super Bowl.
ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it here. John LeMay will come and talk more. No, we're not selling out of the archives. No, we're not
Yes.
we're not doing any of that.
We're not besmirching or
We-
decreasing anything to the archives.
We have gotten some true blessings, whether it's from the Mary Lou Glass, just little legacy of 3 or 5 or 10 of the same thing.
See, that's what it is. It's a lot of it.
It is.
And it's a rare book, and we have 3 of them.
Yes.
And we're like, okay, well, let's
Yes.
offer these to others. We're going to keep the good one. I'm not going to lie.
and a
The one that's the
couple.
best condition and the best, we keep those
And
for
then
the
really
archives.
good, we keep one in the museum, one in the archives.
But the
when
ones
we have
that are-
3 or
yeah.
5 or 10, and we're filling up that. So
Space is a premium in our archive facility. We're not going to lie.
Our Books and Flowers event,
Okay.
yay, is October the 14th. That will be from 10 to 2. Huge shout out to Farmhouse Roots and the Pierce family. They will be in the house with their blessings and flowers. So we
Okay.
will be selling flowers. We will be selling books. This is the first time ever we've worked with them, and they've got quite the story.
You know that,
and I love them.
I'm just wondering if there's a tie here because, and I don't know if this is a thing anymore. I remember as a kid, this was a thing that people liked to do. Like, say you got a flower.
Mhm.
Maybe it was a memorable flower from a funeral or a wedding or something, and they put it in a book to
They
preserve
pressed it.
Yeah.
They pressed it.
Is that still a thing?
Well,
and I
and
wonder
think
if we
my,
could.
I think my grandmother
tie
up
them
in
together?
heaven's listening because she was huge in pressing flowers. They
Yeah.
used to even just do designs. They'd have floral designs on the wall of
Yeah,
pressing.
yeah.
And you know what? That's funny. I'll have to talk to the garden club about it. It is still a thing.
Okay.
And that's something fun that we could work with the garden club to do.
I'm just wondering if this event would be a good time of doing something like that.
That's cool. We need to do some type of, because I guarantee you a lot of our garden clubbers that are listening have done it and would tell you the do's and nots.
Yeah.
And you'd even have to use wax paper, Mike,
Yeah, I know
between
there's
it and all
rules and a certain way to do it. And I'm just thinking,
That's funny.
maybe as a one-off, you kind of show people how to do that at the events. Like, while we're doing flowers and books, let's put them together.
That's really, really cool. But ladies and gentlemen, mark your calendars. That is October the 14th. Support these local treasure days. We're just working together for the good. But the thing that we're really, really excited about coming up in November, November the 9th is our annual Heritage Dinner. It will be a drive-through event. November the 9th, drive-through event like we have in the past. That's intentional as a drive-through event. We do believe we're connecting with the Mary Lou Glass family.
Mhm.
We 100% love that we're using our resources and coming together, but not focusing a lot on expenses for an actual event. But I'm going to tell you something you can do now to honor the legacy of Mary Lou Glass. We will be collecting slightly used and new children's books to bless kids and pay it forward, working with Community Kitchen and a lot of different
So if you'd
organizations.
like to donate.
So collect kids' books now, and we'll put a little donation form in there. Any organization that would need books and token too, we'd be thrilled and honored to work with you. But so part of what you can do now, mark your calendar, November 9th. We will be sending out and putting that press release out probably in the latter part of August.
So
mark your calendar.
So maybe start
November 9th.
collecting now, and maybe the kids are starting to outgrow a few books. Maybe set them aside. If they're still serviceable as books. I know some
That's
kids are
right.
rougher than others.
That's
and then set them
right.
aside, and
That's
then
right.
and then here in a couple months we'll
right.
we'll ask you to bring those to us
For sure.
So, but
And
now you
we've-
can start setting them aside, put them in the
Well,
closet or
I've
in the
just
garage
been
or
seeing
somewhere.
a lot of promotions and different things, even through Amazon and different things. You get groups of books and stuff, and we just want to honor the legacy. If you're not aware, Mary Lou Glass was granddaughter of the Whites, was also in education. So that was
her
near and
passion,
true
yes.
to her heart as
Yeah.
kids and education. So
Which
that's,
makes sense why she was so involved with the historical side, because
Absolutely.
that goes hand in hand with
boy,
education.
and she was a
yeah.
stickler on it. So we will continue her legacy. But
so
no,
I'm guessing
we're really
children's
excited
books,
about that.
but can we go like even teenage up to
yes,
anything that's teenage on down?
Yes.
Kind of anything for 18 and that are books appropriate for 18 and under.
This
kind
local
of thing.
history kind of thing, because I know we've got some local treasure books that even for middle school and high school, because Mary Lou was very intentional to support the legacy of fourth grade school tours, but she also had a passion of connecting and making sure we celebrate our local kids in middle school and high school too.
No matter how technology changes the world and how we access things and do things, there's always going to be a place for books.
For sure.
I feel like and let's face it, I know that we're in a world where they're transferring things to digital for preservation, and that's a good thing, but because these books they're not going to be good forever. They're going to preserve them as long as, but it's like someday we're going to lose the Declaration of Independence, and they preserve them and everything, but someday they're going to be gone.
It's
someday,
true.
Hopefully not for a long time, but someday, and that's the same with books. But that's why the archives are that's why these books are kept. That's why, because even though the book, even the thinking or the talking, if it's a book from the 1800s talking about manners and stuff, you ever pick up a book from that area, it's so outdated compared to today's standards.
It's true.
But to understand the thoughts of people in that time, to understand why we have kind of a problem in today's world, and I'm getting a little soapboxy here, and we are quick to judge people of past history using modern day standards.
True.
And it's not really fair.
No.
You could still like or dislike maybe something in someone's life or whatever, but when the mindset of the world is this,
it's true.
And you're doing something different, even if it's taboo now, you just can't judge people that way. It's not fair.
And I appreciate you bringing that up, Mike, because in my eyes, in our eyes, in the board's eyes, in the Historical Society's eyes, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to set those things aside and come together through history.
Yeah.
I'll throw character in there. I have no problem. A lot of our historical figures were linked in with character counts, and there's no strange coincidence in that matter.
Yeah.
You know as well as I do, that's how they were resilient, rising above the circumstances through character, impacting history. So let's get over ourselves. And let's work together for good on these things.
Absolutely.
And different things. I got a call yesterday, and I hope Michael Kuntz is listening through the funeral home, and he's saying, hey, Amy, we've got to clean up a local treasure here. I'm seeing needs. That's the good stuff. That's the good stuff.
Sure.
Let's protect. Let's preserve. Whether it's the old schoolhouse.
But that's so we can understand. So we know, the people that lived at the heyday of this thing, what was life for them like?
Yes.
What was the mindset of society? And these old books tell us that.
Yes,
these
all
facilities
colors, all creeds.
That's why it's so important to preserve and understand
different
this.
locations of Roswell. We're all
the key to your future life success lies in those books if you're willing to learn and listen.
And education is part of that. I know the Chamber is doing such a great job of supporting education. I believe that luncheon's today on education.
Yes, it'll be
if you're
today at
listening
11:30.
and you're saying, what the heck are they talking about? Call the Chamber, because that's good. But on the realms of education, please pray for educators. I know everybody's getting back into the groove. I know the main office is being resilient, right, and a little bit everywhere.
My wife is officially in the classroom doing her work a little bit every day.
And where is everybody else? Everybody else is at home, wait till last minute.
Yeah.
But let's support our educators. Let's lift them up in prayer. But also the challenge is out. Ladies and gentlemen, talking about blessings. The society wants to connect through education and to give blessings. Educators, we need history clubs at every dadgum school in Roswell. Call the Historical Society. We would love to give blessings to your school, and do not tell me we don't have a budget for this, so we can't do it. That's when the society, living by our mission to preserve, promote history, can get involved.
Absolutely. There
I would
is
love
room
to
for
do
that.
that.
It is a top priority.
Yep. History clubs, we need them. Call me at 622-8333. I want to get history clubs started.
It is very important. It is. I think.
Or back. We've had some, and then they've had, with everything going on, you know how hard it is.
And that's what kindles the fire to get people to read and understand more. My passion for history, I was fortunate. I grew up in an area where you could throw a rock and hit something historical.
Very much so.
And so I embraced that, and I'm like, this is really cool. And so I got fascinated with that kind of stuff.
And the more everybody believes that everywhere's like what you just said, because really everywhere is, if you wanted to look at it like that.
Yeah.
Some are hidden treasures, and some like yours are obvious.
Sure. Yeah. Well, when you grow up in a
everywhere
place like
is.
D.C., it's just
That's right.
like that. You know?
And everywhere is really like that. We really want to encourage, and we'll have fun, and we'll pivot in the direction of every school. And whether it's females, males, both, athletic history, whatever, art, culture, whatever, we're all in. We want to get history clubs back. We've got some going. Shout out to Valley View, still going. I think Roswell High is going to get back going. We've got some great schools doing some great things. But we want to have history clubs back at Mesa, all the middle schools, all the high schools.
And once you understand that stuff, then we can figure. And that's setting the table for these kids.
You're exactly right.
This is educating them on this stuff and showing them the good, the bad, the ugly history.
That's for sure.
So we can learn and change the mistakes.
That's right. It's not all good.
And promote and foster the good things. And that's history.
That's for sure.
And I'm going to say it real quick before we go. Everyone is involved in history. Even if you were the person that says I hate history, guess what? How long did you spend looking on TikTok for stuff? That's history. It's modern history, but you're gathering information and wanting to. That's history. That's what history is. It's not all in 1776 so and so did so and so. It's not just that. It's understanding why so and so did so and so.
And don't you dare start complaining without realizing how we're impacting.
Exactly, and it all
and we can impact for the future.
And if you don't think not one person in the United States of America doesn't have some connection to our forefathers in some way, shape, or form, you're wrong. They all do. Right. You all relate. We all relate in some way, shape, or form.
And we just get in our own way every once in a while. Don't
Absolutely.
We?
We're so busy celebrating our differences, we don't celebrate what makes us
Or we just think
common.
we're too busy in general, and I'm one to say that, and we are all busy.
Yeah.
Good grief. You and I are really busy. We're all busy.
Yeah.
But we need to take those moments to impact, and that's all good. Yeah. But the moral of this story is do not put off getting your guy Penrod tickets, because ladies and gentlemen, they're going to be gone. So call, get your tickets today. We can't. Let me be very clear. You can pick them up at Grace Community Church. You cannot give a credit card at Grace Community Church.
So cash only, or
cash
do they
or
take
check?
They do take
cash or check. Call the museum 622-8333. I had a gentleman that we just mailed the tickets to somebody here in Roswell because that was most convenient. We're all in.
Yeah.
So we can take care of it either way, and we'll help you.
Amy will literally drive to your house to deliver the tickets if she needs to. Or somebody will.
We will. Or we'll deliver it to somebody's house to bless them for the day.
Don't tempt her. She will do it.
I will. If you want a flower with it, I'll make the flower look pretty.
We got to work on our pressing skills. We got to go talk to the garden club, but we're going to do it.
That's right. There you go. I'm all in. We'll do it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Amy, as always.
Thank you.
Again, RoswellNMHistory.org. You can find everything we talked about there. If you want to
follow us on Instagram or Facebook. 622-8333. Archives if you have research needs. 622-1176.
Yep. Oh, I got a spam risk calling. I don't think I'm going to take that.
Watch out.
At least that one told me. It's like, this guy's a shady character. You don't want to talk to them.
I think so.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you next
appreciate
time.
it. Thanks.
All right, 9:57. Let's quick break before they kick me off the radio. Don't go away.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. General Motors had a good second quarter. Quarterly net income, $2.54 billion.
The 52% increase over last year comes despite GM taking on a huge chunk of an expensive electric vehicle recall. Continued strong vehicle sales and pricing, as well as cost cuts, led to the better-than-expected quarter. Chief Financial Officer Paul Jacobson told reporters customers paid about $1,600 more per vehicle last quarter than from January through March, with an average U.S. sales price of $52,000. Bob Agnew reporting.
Consumer confidence, as measured by the Conference Board, shot to the highest level in 2 years this month as inflationary pressures ease and the American economy continues showing resilience in the face of higher interest rates. Mixed open on Wall Street ahead of tomorrow's Fed decision on interest rates. The Fed expected to authorize another quarter-point rate hike. For the Wall Street Business Report, Rich Thomason.
Yup, it's back to school season again, and Roswell Honda wants to get you geared up with the 6th annual Roswell Honda Back to School Blowout. Now through July 28th, stop by Roswell Honda and get your kids registered to receive a backpack chock full of supplies absolutely free. Then on July 29th, join Roswell Honda from 10 to 1 for the Back to School Bash with lots of free food and fun stuff for the whole family. While you're there, register to win a brand new office chair, a desk, and even an HP laptop. Register now for the Back to School Blowout at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
You're invited. The 2023 Eddy County Fair is July 25th through the 29th. at the Eddy County Fairgrounds in Artesia. Come out for a week of fun. The KSVP Morning Show will be broadcasting live Wednesday through Friday. You can catch almost all of the livestock shows and Junior Livestock Auction with streaming video live and on demand at ksvptv.com. So tell all of your out-of-town friends and family that can't be there in person. Coverage of this year's Eddy County Fair brought to you in part by Wilbanks Trucking Services, proud supporters of the Eddy County Fair. Visit wilbanks.us for career opportunities with Wilbanks Trucking.
You can't hunt camels in Arizona, but you can buy them. They go for about $10 a pack. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is done for us, 10 o'clock. Have an amazing day. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of your day. We'll be back bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Take care. God bless. Have a great day.